back again with another banger, and we have a very short stream today. I got a job this evening to do. Gonna get the big cameras out for this one, boys. But while we have the time, we are going to do a couple Bloomburrow best 2 out of 3 drafts because the cultured format of Bloomburrow is finally available, and I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on this on stream so people can witness me utilizing the power of rats firsthand, live and ready for the first time since Wilds of Eldraine, when my rat journey and my rat tyranny first began. Now quickly, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my batteries for my cameras so I'm ready for this job tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Let's get ready for some prime active Bloomburrow. Here we go. Got our boy Hugs, the special friend. And we have a random pack token. Because it'd be like that. Quick little pre-pack draft here. Geb, Scaled Scorch. Awesome. Really wanted that card. Ooh, that's a nice Wormcoil. I wish Wormcoil was good again. Take me back to the days the Wormcoil was good again. Oh, and I just want to show off this nice mice deck that I made. For anyone who's interested in playing some Standard, this is a really fun deck in Bloomburrow. Mice deck, you got your Mabel, Heir to the Cragflame, which is an awesome card. Also Manifold Mouse, just giving your guys double strike, potentially twice, which is absurd. And we get to use Raging Battle Mouse, which is already pretty good in the Boros archetypes in Standard without mice, but just having a better place for it makes it even more insane. Basically, if you have to think about, if you want to know what decks are good in Bloomburrow Standard, it's the archetypes that already had a strong foundation of archetypal creatures from Wilds of Eldraine. And if they did, then it's a playable deck. And if not, it probably just isn't. You probably just don't have enough guys. Like, Rats has some good cards. I'm just unsure that we have enough low-costed Rats to make it a viable strategy. Plus, a lot of the good Rats are within red, which you really want to be blue-black if you want to fully utilize the ceiling of your Bloomburrow cards. Man, when I get a new job, I'm going to fix my AC because it just does not get cold in here. All right, I'm gonna set a new sub goal. I'm gonna use my sub money to pay for an AC. The ultimate content creation requirement. Man, I really want to get a new AC whenever I get a new job here, because it just does not get cold in here. I might have to set a new sub goal to get a new AC. The ultimate content creation requirement. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into the first draft here, baby. We do have a arena playing qualifier on Saturday, so I'm hoping to be able to do that. Hoping to farm some more playing points so I have like multiple entries for free. I'm going to mute the music here while we record. All right, welcome back to another Bloomburrow draft on the channel. This time it's going to be best 2 out of 3, and I could not be more ecstatic. Our rare here is Manifold Mouse, which is a really strong card in Constructed, and I think just as well a very strong card within the draft format if you end up in a very mice-centric deck, which is a little bit difficult to do because a lot of the good mice cards are at premium rarities, such as this one. But I do think it is quite a good card. Let me go ahead and take a snapshot of this so I don't miss anything here. Now, other than that, there is a Fell. There's also a Baker's Bane duo, a card I'm really high on. There's also a Wandertail Mentor, another card I think is just really good, but I haven't had the opportunity to play it, even though I've had success in the red-green deck. We're going to go with the rare here, Manifold Mouse. Decent start to a draft, but it is very segmented. Only good in one type, but it's such an insane card. I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. All right, moving on here. Cards of note, there is an Alania's Pathmaker, which could work in our Boros deck with our Mice strategy. There is as well a Curious Forager, a fine card once you are already established to be in the foraging space. I think the best card in this pack has to be Feed the Cycle. Personally, I think this Balin the Haymaker is just not really a good card because, like, you really only are going to play this if you're splashing it in a rabbit deck where you have an insane amount of tokens. Doesn't seem like what we're trying to do. There's a Teapot Slinger, which can end the game relatively quickly. I think Feed the Cycle might just be the best card here. I really want to stay open the first couple picks because with these play boosters, you just don't know what colors were actually opened for at least a couple picks. And I do really like Alania's Pathmaker, but I think I'm going to go with a strong uncommon just to leave us open to the most options here. All right, well, we got another red rare here in the form of Valley Flamecaller. Now, this is a card that has performed very well so far, and I do like it, but I think it doesn't have the best synergy with Manifold Mouse. There is a Saver, which I think is just an absurd card. This card just keeps going up and up in my tier list of what I think a good removal spell should be. Do we really want this Valley Flamecaller, or do we want to go with the Saver here? Because Saver isn't really that much worse. And this isn't really a mouse. Like, if I'm playing red, I want to be able to use this. And I don't think it's good if you don't have all other mouse. So I think I'm actually just going to go with Saver because I'm more confident that my black cards can do something here than, my red deck with no mice. Oh, well, now I'm just shooting myself in the foot because we see another amazing red rare in the form of Emberheart Challenger, which might actually make me want to leave my black cards on the sideline and try to make red-white work. If this card is being left behind, then that might be a good signal that we should be trying to make the mice deck work, and these two cards have an insane synergy. Plus it's 20 gems, because I already have the deck. Alright, well this pack is a little less interesting. There is a Flame Cache Gecko. It's okay. I don't think it is the best in, the mice deck, but it is a good aggressive 2-drop. There's also a Raccoon Rallier, which I think is fairly good in this strategy because it allows you to trigger your Valiant for free. Probably just going to go with the Flame Cache Gecko here. I just think it's a fine aggressive card. Alright, well, there is a Valley Rally. One that I think is best played in the mouse deck, but one I've just had success with in any red deck overall. I played this in a red-green deck, and it was still pretty good. Also an Agate Assault and a Steam Path Charger, which is just a good quality aggressive card. I think I might just want the Steam Path Charger. Just a good aggressive card. Actually, I'm going to go Agate Assault. I think it's just a more versatile card. Okay. So, not a lot of amazing stuff left in this pack, but there is a brew, there is a Sazix, there is a Caps brew, which I think is okay. It can allow us to trigger our Valiant, and a lot of times in these aggro decks, you could flood very easily, because you don't want to go below 17 lands for, consistency purposes, so this can be a good way to get us a playable card and trigger a Valiant, so I guess I'm down for that. Really want to commit to one color here. Alright, well there's a Whisker Squill Scribe, which is a mouse, and there's also another Agate Assault. I do think Agate Assault is just a better card, but this is a mouse, and I'm kind of clinging to that archetype. Clinging to that theme. Well, there's not a lot of great things here. I will pick up this Rabbit Response, just because there's not a red or a black card, and this is fine in any aggressive deck, even without rabbits. Ooh, we end up getting back the Alania's Pathmaker, so I'm pretty excited about that. Got a pretty decent red aggressive start. Now, Wildfire Howl is a good card. Wildfire Howl is a good card, but not really what an aggressive deck is looking for, but I will take it just to cut red from the pack, since then likely we play the others. Another red card. Probably don't want to play that. So I've been asking myself this question a lot. What makes a good red-white mice deck? Because so far, I've been unsuccessful in making that dream work. And I'm like, how many cards do you want that have Valiant to make this archetype good? And I had a pretty prolific player tell me that I think it's less about the amount of Valiant cards you have and more so about the overall card quality. So I'm interested to see what makes up a red-white deck. And what makes you want to go into it. Because I think Manifold Mouse and Emperor Challenger definitely make you want to do the thing. But what makes you feel rewarded? Okay, well there's a Caretaker's Talent, which I think is great. But we don't have any ability to generate tokens, which makes it kind of a bad card for our deck. There is a Heartfire Hero, which is just a, generally speaking, good aggressive card, especially in a Valiant strategy. And that is our 4th mouse, I believe. So that could be pretty nice here. On the wheel, maybe we just get back this Whisker Quill Scribe. Just another solid 2-drop. Okay, well, we find a Scavenger's Talent. Pretty good card in the Forge deck. I had a good experience with this in my Forge deck. My deck just wasn't that good overall. There is a Brightblade Stoat, which is a very strong card in general, but also very good in aggressive decks. It's funny because this is one of the best cards, and it doesn't even need to have a creature type synergy to perform at its highest ceiling. And this also makes your equipment stuff better, which is something that Valiant decks are also interested in because equipment triggers their Valiant. There's also a Roughshod Duo and a Intrepid Rabbit. Maybe we can get one of those back. Pretty good start to an aggressive deck here. All right, well, we see Wick the World Mind. Very nice card in a rat deck, and as well, I played it before in a squirrel rat deck, just because the squirrels and the rats have some overlap, and sometimes you want to be Sultai. We do see a Thistledown Players, which is kind of a cool card. 3 mana 3/3s are not the best, but it does allow us to trigger Valiant for free, which could be fine. There's also a Head of the Homestead, which I think is okay as well, especially since we already have a Rabbit response. But I think I'm going to go with the Players here. All right, well, there's not a lot. All right, well, there's not a lot of stuff that we're really interested in here. I'm just going to take this Banishing Light. It's just a strong removal card overall. And I think a lot of people have undervalued this early because answering enchantments does come with a cost. Like, most cards are not good on their own unless they're a rare that just answer enchantments because it's kind of a niche aspect of the format. So whenever you have one of these, it's relatively difficult to remove. All right, so there is a Seasoned Warren Guard. Good with a green-white tokens deck, which we were not trying to do. There is a Blacksmith's Talent, though, which I think is pretty nice in the Valiant space. Probably the best archetype for it because we can continuously trigger our Valiant's effects, and I haven't gotten to really try this out in the right deck, so I'm willing to do that today. Okay, another Thistledown Players or an Alania's Pathmaker. Probably just going to go with Alania's here. Just a decent top-end card. Ooh, another Blacksmith's Talent. But there's also a Take Out the Trash, which is just a more efficient removal spell. I don't think we really want 2 Blacksmith's Talents. I'd rather just have the efficient removal. And, like, I don't want to have too many 3-drops, so I don't think Thistledown Players is, like, the highest benefit to us. So we got 5 2-drops so far. Not bad. Now, this has been my caveat with the Valiant Mice decks in general, is it's like, you see a couple Valiant cards that are strong, you know, such as the rares that we've picked up, and we're like, okay, that makes me want to do the thing, and then those cards seem to disappear very quickly, and then you don't have the capabilities to really see the maximum ceiling of this archetype, so it's really weird, because you might be seeing a lot of good in red and white cards, but they just don't have the best synergy with the rares that made you want to go into this. So there's a Might of the Meek, which I don't think is a crazy card, but I think it's fine. Can allow us to trigger our Valiant and draw a card. Currently sitting at a total of 5 mice, which isn't, like, great. Honestly, I think you want to have 10 plus mice in an optimal deck. Okay, well, I'll take this 5-drop. Could be a decent top curve out card, but that's not really what we're looking for. If we have to play it, we will play it, though. All right, once again, nothing really here for us. I'll just take the rare. Man, well, we need to see some more mice quickly. Roughshod Duo, mice, and a raccoon. Okay, I guess that's going in. Not the best card for what our deck's trying to do, but we can double spell. And what really makes this card good is that it says target creature and not just itself. Worst Creek is fine. I'd prefer not to play it, but if we need to, it's a passable card for sure. Might be better than the Provisioner. All right, moving on to pack number 3 here. Rare is Valley Mightcaller, one that has done a lot of good work in my Squirrel decks and in my Frog decks. There's also a Bravekin Duo and an Intrepid Rabbit, along with a Take Out the Trash here. I think I'm most interested in this Intrepid Rabbit. The Bravekin Duo typically wheels, and we saw the Take Out the Trash go very late in the first pack, so maybe it'll go late again. Try to get one of these back, but I'm going to take the Intrepid Rabbit. It's just the best card for our deck here. All right, well, there is a Harvest Right Host, which is a good card, but specifically in the Green-White Rabbits deck, there is a Quake Dusk Boar, which is probably just a better top-end card than the Plated Provisioner, which is probably going to be my pick here. But still, I just really need some good 2-drops at this point. A little bit lower than I would like, and a little bit too many 3-drops at this point. All right, well, there's another Might of the Meek and a Crumb and Get It. Crumb and Get It is probably one we're a little bit more interested in. It's not as good as the one that lets you buff up 2 creatures, but it's still fine in this deck. Don't want to have too many combat tricks, though. Ooh, we end up seeing a pick four manifold mouse. That's awesome. Getting a second one of those, that's really going to help out our deck. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a sign that we are doing the right thing. There just haven't been as many of the cards opened in the packs, I would assume, for our archetype as we would like. But we definitely have the rares to support our pathway here. Okay, well, there's another Intrepid Rabbit. There's also a banner. How interested are we in the banner? So 7 mice. 7 mice is kind of okay. I think this card's not as good in this archetype, though. Probably just take another Intrepid Rabbit here. I don't really want to play this many 3-drops, but it's looking like it's coming to this. Alright, well, there's nothing here I'm really interested in, to be honest. What does this card do? Yeah, that card's not great. Yeah, this pack is just terrible for us, to be honest. I guess I'll take this guy. Maybe I just play him because I have to. Ooh, we end up seeing a pretty late Heartfire hero. That's pretty cool. Another mouse, so we're now up to 8 mice, which is still on the low end. This is what keeps happening to me when I try to make this deck. So we get like 8 mice, and it's like, if we had 10 or 12, the deck would be fire. Hopefully we get something good on the wheel here. There's a Nettle Guard. That is a pretty good mice. And it gives you artifact / enchantment removal without having to sacrifice much, so pretty excited about that. Yeah, so far, the mice deck has probably been the one that's been most difficult for me to find myself constructing efficiently. So hopefully we're able to do a good showcase of what this deck is looking to be like. Brave Kendo is actually pretty good in this deck with how many Valiant cards we have. I think we have about 6 Valiant cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, yeah, we don't even have that many Valiant cards. Well, this is looking like what our deck is going to be. Pretty much got everything in the main deck I would like to play. 17 creatures is pretty high. Hidden Grotto. Roughshod Duo. This guy's not for our deck. Yeah, I'm probably interested in a Hidden Grotto. Okay, well, there's a Rockface Village. In my opinion, this is actually the best village, and this is probably the best home for it, so that's nice. Another Blacksmith's Talent, and there's also a Raccoon Rallier. Definitely want to play that Raccoon Rallier. And another Brew. All right, well, the deck looks pretty good. Hopefully we can get something going here and showcase a good running of what a Boros deck is looking to do in this format. 2 Manifold Mouse, 1 Ember Heart Challenger in terms of our rares. Ended up with a total of 9 mouse cards in general, which is pretty nice. Honestly, I'm kind of skeptical on playing this Hidden Grotto. Maybe I should just take out a Plains here and throw it in. Yeah, we'll just have to see how that works out. The Rockface Village is actually pretty strong in this deck because we do have a total of 17 creatures, which is really where you're trying to be if you want to play one of these villages. I think it could be justifiable for us to play this Rabbit Response, but it's double white, which makes me a little bit skeptical. And I do already have a couple ways to push through damage, so we'll just see how this works. If we want to change anything during the side decking process, we definitely can. But let's go ahead and hop into these games. Pull my YouTube chat real quick. And then let me take some Kratom and we'll run it. All right, I've got high hopes for this. Manifold Mouse has been pretty good in Standard thus far, so hopefully we can do something here with it. USA, baby. It's time to go. It's our time, baby. Let's work. All right, hopping into our first match of the day. Opponent's going to go first, which I do not appreciate, but curve seems fine. Turn 1 Bravekin duo. No turn 2 play, but I do have the Hidden Grotto. Probably just going to keep this. Man, Quake Dust Boar is just good in any deck you can play it in. Oh, hey, there's our 2-drop. We're rocking. Rock solid, baby. Warren Elder, okay. Fountain Port, okay. Maybe this guy's playing a Rabbit's deck. It's very possible. We draw the Rock Face Village. It's kind of nice. Dropped on our boy Whiskers. We can start rummaging. Unfortunately, his Warren Elder does contest our 1-drop, but that is fine. Ooh, that's a really nice top deck. So target creature gets +1/0 and trample. And then if we control a mouse, we can draw a card. Probably just start off with this Hidden Grotto here. Right. Use the Surveil in case we want to Might of the Meek. So I already have 4 lands. Hidden Grotto fixes for a mana. Yeah, I don't know that I really want that. I can probably play with less mana for the time being, at least. So, either I Intrepid Rabbit here, or I'm just going Might of the Meek. So, I can Rummage, though. I feel like developing is probably quite a bit more important here. And honestly, I'm just going to buff up this guy and just go in with both. Offer a trade. I'd like to trade away game pieces if possible. Hopefully he doesn't have like a Sonar Strike. Parting Gust. Okay. And what did that do for him? Oh. That's what that did? Okay, that seems really bad. Alright, we're going to the next game. We did something good. We did it, boys. I'm that guy. When you're this good, people just give you the W. You see what happened there? What just occurred? It was all me, baby. It was not because of him. It was all me. Trust. All right, well, I really wish we could keep this hand because double Manifold Mouse is absurd, but it's a mole for me. If it was a red instead of a white in our hand, I'd probably keep. All right, well, this hand seems quite a bit better. I can definitely play for a couple turns if I don't get a land, so I'm going to put back the Quake Dust Boar. Alright, so we're not going to be screwed on lands, which is awesome. We are rolling on the river, baby. Now, do we put this out? Probably. Now, actually, I want to go Raccoon Relier. It's a high likelihood he actually just has a piece of removal for my first creature. And I think this is just more important in the late game. Draw a card, make a food. This is a very interesting card, and I'm still uncertain about what the value of this card is. I think more so than anything, it's like a borderline playable card within the Forage deck, and outside of that, I would just recommend it in the side. Alright, so he just makes a 1/1. Not going to be able to contest our attack, which is nice. We do end up picking up the planes. So I'm actually going to do a Wombo combo here. Hasty boys. Untap that guy because I said so. Could have untapped him, but this guy's cooler. And also, this is a guy that I'm more willing to block with. I'd rather have this die to a combat trick than this. This is just like a higher value card that can be used to trigger a Valiant. Man, this might be the most common rare I've played against so far in the format. Like, literally, I see this card all the time. It's crazy. And not in the decks that you would think you would see it in, right? I feel like people just highly prioritize this and kind of overvalue it. This guy spent 4 mana for a 4/5 just to gain 4 life, which is, like, cool, but, like, it's not absurd. It's not like game ending, right? So I think here, I'm probably just going to go ahead and go Alania's here. Develop my biggest threat. Okay, I get a Banishing Light for next turn, which is cool. I could have played Emberheart and then used effect to give it haste and then play the top card, but I'd rather wait longer to do that. He's going to make that 5/6, which is... Oh, he's going to buff with that guy. Okay. Get in with Alania's. So there are some merits to double trade here, because then my Banishing Light is going to be... My Banishing Light is going to be used on this. That is only 4 attack. So considering that is only 4 attack, if I block with both, he only kills 1. Interesting. I would have killed that guy. Alright, we can go Banishing Light here. Does that trigger my prowess? Yeah, it does trigger my prowess. Okay. Get rid of the Provisioner. And considering he just binned a enchantment removal, I feel pretty safe about this. Going with the team. Let's just untop this. Oh, that would have been cool if I had mana. Alright, cool. Trading away game objects. Now, Whiskercool Scribe could be used to rummage if he answers our challenger. Just gonna pass? Okay, nice. Into another Alania's. That's great. Great, great, great. So I could play Alania's now. I think I'm just gonna do this first, just to see what's revealed at the top. With the current amount of mana I have, I'll be able to play any card. Okay, sure. Bottom, that's nice for us. Well, I think it goes without saying. This challenger has so far made it not challenging in any way. Okay. Still going to use my ability, buddy. I'm getting that land. I'm taking it with honor. Don't disrespect my ability to play lands. Alright, Alania, show me a non-land. It's a fucking land, Alania. Don't do me like that. Well, I can at least potentially rummage with the Scribe next turn, which could be fine. I've hit quite a few lands in a row, so the likelihood of it being a non-land is relatively high. 38% chance to currently hit a land, which is fine. Makes this guy 3/3 Vigilance. Cool. Sure. First blood. Well done, sir. I'm not going to clean sweep you, buddy. I wonder how our opponent feels knowing that they turn 1 cycled their only option to be able to answer our Banishing Light. And if he had that right now, I'd actually be cooked. It's kind of funny. So part of me wants to just attack so I can rummage. And then another part of me just wants to attack with this. Honestly, I don't care about this land. So I'm actually going to do this to Surveil. Because depending on what card we reveal on the top, that changes whether I want to make this play. I don't want to make this play. That's terrible. Please trade. Please trade. No trade skis. Trade option denied. Ooh, he's going to go cash grab here. That's vile. Add back the Boxer. Not gonna lie, this seems like a terrible deck to play Cash Grab. Cash Grab is like realistically only good in green-black, or I guess you could play it in green-blue if you care about the graveyard. Wait, now he has 2 tokens for that. That's actually really scary. Holy shit. Dude, that card is so irritating when the opponent has the setup for it. Because it's like not good in any other situation. Ooh, but that's really good. Give my guy double strike trample. Start popping off. We're gonna go Manifold Mouse here. Offspring 2. Offspring on me. Offspring on you. Offspring on 2. Double strike trample, baby. We're gonna rummage here into a combat trick because, like, I'm that guy. Okay, it's not a combat trick, but I am still that guy. That was insane. Well, that was really nice. Given the circumstances, I think I will just hold off on this. I think I could easily play it, but I'm not really losing anything. The fact he has a food makes me less interested in just putting this on the board. Okay, well now he has the guy. He's doing the thing that I want to do. That's not cool, man. Why you be stealing my lines, brother? Alright. For some reason, I look at this card and I'm like, this should be trample, right? It should be trample. Ooh, I can give something trample as well? That's nice. That means I could just go double strike on 2 objects, which would be nice. Well played, sir. I'm not going to lie, that was a complicated game state, and I don't know if I would make the right play, so you should not quit out there. Never quit out. Never surrender. Everyone loves a comeback story, and the comeback was available because I wasn't sure what I was going to buff, man. Hey, things are happening. Cool. All right. All right, let's go ahead and start off on the play here. Turn 1, potentially get in for a damage. Trigger Flame Cache Gecko into a turn 3. Cool. I'm nice. Let me get a saucy 2-drop to chain the Burning Tree Emissary. All right, the duo is here. Never fear. This is the duo we never knew we needed. No, why do you have that, bro? Don't be doing me like that, son. Okay, well, that's actually really good. Is it good? No. I can't play it off the Gecko. That sucks. I probably just save the Gecko in that circumstance. I mean, there's no way he blocks. I have no red card, but I could cycle. I mean, cycling is kind of nice, but I think establishing this guy is too important because he just puts so much pressure on the board. This probably just better advances our game state. Oh, he's not doing anything? That's great. Well, now my Flame Cache Gecko has something to do. Play this Scribe. Yeah, let's just do this. You're not that guy, bro. You have a fabled passage, my guy. I'm gonna get in there. I'm coming for them cheeks, bro. I will instant in my crumb and get it, bro. You don't want to talk to me about that. Yes, sir. The gecko is here. Never fear, baby. Gecko time. Responding with a fabled passage. Nice, man. You'll get a tap land, and I'll get a burning tree emissary with the potential to rummage later on. Awesome. Yes, sir. The rummage lord is here. Turn 3, playing 2 drops, getting him for 3 damage. We're big nice. So nice right now. You know, I might as well tell my opponent to crumb and get it, eh? If my opponent actually comes back from this game state, I would be flabbergasted. Bushy B with the no option to be able to use the ability, that's cool. I love that for you, bud. So we've got a builder's talent and a crumb and get it. I mean, given the circumstance, am I interested in just going Intrepid Rabbit? The blacksmith talent just feels like it's a little bit too late. So I could use the option to rummage here. Okay. Ooh, that's so nice. Right? Do I have a mouse? I do have a mouse. That's probably fine. If he just lets me get through with everything. Am I more interested in trading that or developing my rabbit? Yeah, I don't really care too much about that, I guess you could say. I probably just hold it. Play the rabbit for funsies. Sunshower Druid. Oh shit, he's got a 4/4. Oh shit, I'm off the drink again. We're the ones they talk about. Okay, he's got black, blue, and green. Interesting. Dire Downfall. Bottom. Bottom of that sheet. Decline. Double strike. Double strike! The Rat King is back in his original form. This is true. This much I know. This is a pretty tight game. Since Mouse are just so small, he could easily come back. Like, that just put him back in the game so hard. Now he just has a 7/7, which is ridiculous. And now he has 4 bodies, which is equivalent to mine. And he basically had to do no work to get to that game state. Which is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, I'm definitely just going to go Whisker Quill, double strike. If he takes the damage, sure. If he doesn't take the damage, I play Alania's. Double strike, hold the buff. Hold my buff, son. Gift of food to keep my guy. I mean, that is my best guy. Yeah, I think that was correct. Because now that guy always gets through for damage. Harfair Hero, okay. That I could be interested in rummaging away. I mean, it does do damage to the opponent, though, which puts him on a clock. Maybe that is correct. So I use this. It targets that. And then I just rummage. Don't mind me, sir. I'm sugaring my ability. We're gooch, bro. It's fine. I'm just rummaging. I'm rummaging for the Commonwealth, brother. Don't slow me down now. Oh, that's dirty. That's so dirty. Do I have a raccoon randomly? No, I don't. I was like, maybe? Maybe I'm just really nice right now? I think I just do kill this guy. Double strike. Oh no, it's Eddie Merc. Eddie Merc in this bitch, eh? Eddie Merc is kind of a dirty boy. I'm not gonna lie. I will just play that guy because it advances my game state more. Wow, that was such a great top deck for our opponent. Ooh, Might of the Meek, though. That's nice. That's real nice. So depending on the way this plays out, if I'm glad I saved to take out the trash, because now that means that there is a possibility for us to kill his Eddie Merc, right? Because then that's doing 6. Or this kills it. Yeah, I kind of want to use both abilities. Wow, Manifold Mouse is so cool. Cool card, fun card. Okay, that's great. In this situation, since I have the Ember Heart, I think I just let this die. Nice. Yeah, our opponent is kind of kerfucked. Ember Heart Challenger is just insane. This just lets us draw a card every time. Let's go. Yes, sir, Ski Brother. We out here. Shout out the Rat King, aka the Mice King 2.0. You know how it be, son. High key, do we actually want to play this Sazcap Sprue? It does allow us to buff a guy. Honestly, in that situation, I really like this Hidden Grotto. because it let us unbrick ourselves. But at the same time, I feel like we could have ended the game so easily with this rabbit response. I think we could have just ended it so easily. Maybe I just cut this because it's like, I just have so many things to be doing with my mana, right? It feels bad, but I feel like the card's so good. Yeah, we'll just make that our top end. I want to try this. Our average CMC is 2.2. I think I should be 16 lands. That lets us run the Sazcap Sprue. I mean, our top end is 3/4 drops. We have a lot of cycling, so I think it's fine. You know, I might actually like this ratio of what we did to the deck better. All right, opponent goes first. He's mulling, and our hand has a 1-drop, no 2-drop, but we have a lot of 2-drops to top deck. And we have our mana sources, which is relatively important since we went to 16 lands. Turn 1 Might Color so it can test our Heartfire hero. Although I do have a way to target this immediately. I think this is a pretty big cornerstone of the deck. Being able to grow is a bigger factor than I think a lot of people would recognize. If he buffs his guy, I'm probably in a bad position, considering I have nothing to develop next turn. So I probably am just allowing it. Okay, well that's an easy discard with my Sazcaps. Sazcaps. Sazcaps on a boy, then I go out my way. Oh, I almost targeted my opponent to give them 2 cards. That would have been so bad. Nice. So I gave them a fish, but at the same time, I don't think their deck is really that beneficial with the fish. Yeah, I don't think this was the person we played against that had the token vehicle, right? Yeah, I think that was the other person. He had a Polywallop. Wow. That actually really is unfortunate. I mean, he did have to tap out for that. Alright, well. We just drop this guy. Turn 4, we have Alania. For some reason, I see this, and instead of Alania, I just want to say a Johnny. He just looks like an Johnny-ass boy. Bounce your fish. You won't do it. Real men bounce their fish. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. This guy has no balls for not bouncing his fish. Man, why do we draw this card so late every game? Target itself. You won't block it. You're not that guy. Tradesies. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about the power of the 1/1 sword. We're booling. Such an efficient turn. Now I have a 4/4 Mice who has a picture of a sword with an actual sword. He's just gonna pass? That's really sus. You have 4 mana. That tells me you have a big play coming. I really just want to attack here and see what happens. Bro doesn't respect the short sword. He doesn't respect the short sword. No respect for the short sword, baby. We out here. Alright, Alania, do work. Show me a bomb. My opponents have bombed us out all this week. Let us do it one time. Hey, we got a respectable card. Cool. Respectable card, make respectable plays. Oh, that's what he had? You know what I'm honestly surprised he didn't do? He probably should have just blocked with the 1/1 fish there. Because there was such a low cost to that, and you could have mitigated 4 or more damage, right? Like, there aren't a lot of cards that give me trample, and even if I'm using one of those, you're baiting it out, which feels like really good. So I'm going to play this so maybe he feels safe. I could upgrade this, but it's not really doing anything for us. We might as well just wait till we run out of mana. Untap this guy. I could have transferred my sword, maybe. That way they're both 3. Okay. I mean, do I really want that again? I don't know. I'm not sure how relevant of a game piece that is at this point in the game. I honestly just feel like there are better things for us to do. Oh, but if I would have done that, I could have saved my Alanias. Yeah, it's okay. I don't really care. You know what? I'm going to pay to go level 2 here. Because now, next turn, I'll be able to go level 3 and play a card. Maybe it was worth it to put that card back on top because I could go level 3 and play that card in the same turn, which I didn't realize. Ah, he has a Yagra. This card is sick, bro. This card is so sickening. It just does so much for you. When I look at this card, it feels like it should be from Wilds of Eldraine. It literally feels like it should be from Wilds of Eldraine. 100%. We're going level 3. He doesn't know. The power of level 3 is too vast and wide. Honestly, if he's willing to trade with my guy, with his Yagra, I'm down all day. Okay. Sure. Oh shit, I'm so low. Wow, that just did so much for him. Okay. Is that just game? Oh, it's not game because I don't have double strike. Okay. Well, if he doesn't have removal, I'm chumping with my token. Oh, you just top decked. Bro, why did you sit there for 10 seconds and be like, what should I do here? I was like, oh, okay, you said removal. Well played. I mean, I like the way our deck's going. I actually really like this a lot. Maybe I should go War Squeak because he does have a lot of blockers. Sazcap's Brew is honestly kind of terrible. I kind of don't like this card. Let's go War Squeak. War Squeak would definitely steal the game. What really sucks is that our opponent just has a lot of token makers. And honestly, more than anything, token makers in a control deck are just disgusting. Against our deck specifically. Okay, well, we actually have a chance to go Blacksmith's Talent turn 1. That's hilarious. Okay, if we draw 1 land, we literally just win the game. Wow, this is probably the best hand we've drawn all day. Man, Stowe just continues to impress me. Card's insane in every deck. And we draw a land. We're literally here, boys. I'm him. I'm here for the people, and the people know it, baby. I kind of just want to establish this guy. Is there anything wrong with that? I think that's fine. Especially if he has a removal, he'll remove this before the Stoat, which I think is the best card for us to stick since we have a Blacksmith's Talent. Bushy Bee, okay. Bushy Bee on the beat, A. Manifold Mouse, hold up the heat, A. Wow, this is kind of a dirty play here. I'm a dirt boy for sure. Well, I really want Offspring 2 with that. This is honestly an insane card to buff with the mouse. Yes, trade. Good shit. Good shit, bro. You're nice. He doesn't know our hand is loaded. He doesn't know the power of Nettle Guard plus Manifold Mouse. I'm too nice like that. And now this is presenting an immediate threat, so maybe he'll take off a turn to remove it and just not develop, which would be great. Oh, baby, we're so nice. So, you know, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Nettle Guard because I want to establish it before the Manifold Mouse. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Alright, please don't have that stupid Yagra card that should be in Wilds of Eldraine, but for some reason it's in this godforsaken set. Dear Lord, please do not allow him to hover over my Nettle Guard. Nettle Guard did nothing wrong. He just wants to sacrifice himself for the team to get rid of a pivotal enchantment or artifact. Dejvi is just jealous of our Nettle Guard. He looks at our Blacksmith's Talent in spite and says, damn, that's such a nice Nettle Guard. If only I had it to be able to Blacksmith's Talent. You dirty bastard. You dirty bastard, you. You got rid of my only mouse. That's actually some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit. Trade skis, okay. Yes, sir. Just let me go ahead and equip my mouse here, man. Don't mind me, sir. I'm just here to equip my mouse. I will equip my mouse and leave. No, stop. You're building up your mana to get to Yashirag. Brother, why do you actually have the ability to buff up? So I think this is probably going to be the line. Double strike, trample. So you'd have to block with everything on my Manifold mouse, and then I kill his two best guys. That seems like an insane exchange for us. He has 2 cards in hand, so he literally has to have the Yagra, the one that makes everything food, to be able to come back here. And even then, with a good top deck, I could just get us out of this game. You know how we be. The Rat King thrives off pressure. Pressure makes Rat Kings. Ah, he's doing it. Okay. Well, that was good. Let's go.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
Yes, sir. I knew it. I believed. Shout out all the believers. All right. Currently 2-0. It is prediction time. Send me a fire meme in the Discord, or I'll peep it. I'll peep a fire meme. Remember this kid. The next picture is him now. Feel old yet? What the fuck? I'm dead. That's actually so funny. It's crazy how that shit is... No one gave a shit about the shooting until, like 2 days ago. And honestly, like, I don't understand Number one, the type of pistols they use look like they're from Star Wars. Never seen anyone shoot a pistol like that. And, you know, I've grown up with guns. I have been around some people that are amazing at shooting. People that consistently hit 100 out of 100 at qualifications every year. And I've never seen anyone wear those weird ass fucking glasses that the person from South Korea was wearing. I'm pretty sure like pretty much every single person I know who is an ace shooter, police officers, you name it, everybody who is like a trained killer does not wear a device to close their other eye. And most people actually believe that it negatively affects you to have one eye closed and squinting. So it's like, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. I think it's kind of a weird thing. And that guy was a savage because he's like, fuck you. I'm coming in, raw dogging it. I'm not going to use your weird gimmicks. I know you guys are trying to like, you know, do some cyborg shit, but I'm bringing back the original, you know, the shooting pride. And right below that, there's just a person who's flexing their PSA 10 Monkey D. Luffy. Bro, people need to quit with these things where they keep sending in One Piece cards to get PSA gradings. No one gives a shit about that. I have met so many people who have graded these dumbass One Piece cards that it does not increase their value, and then they bring them to the store and they're like, does anyone want to buy this? Does anybody want to make an offer on this? It's like, no. Dude, number one, it's so easy to get a good grading on those. Number two, that's not an item you should be paying to grade because people don't want it like that. Like, it's really only worth it for you to grade stuff if it's really old. I'm gonna be honest. People want to be like, oh my god, I just got the new manga rare from the set that just came out 5 days ago, and I just got it back, PSA 10. Do you want to buy it? No, I want that shit to play. Are you willing to crack it open? Like, no. It's like, okay, get the fuck out of my face then. Alright, well, the final boss is upon us, and we have an absurd hand. Rare into rare, baby. Alongside my boy, the rabbit. Let's go. Soldier, soldier, warrior. We out here. Okay, so I have the lands to double spell, which is really nice. Okay, do I want to go Manifold Mouse? No, I don't. I want to go Emberheart Charger here. Because this way, if for some reason this thing just does not die, on turn 4 of the game, I'll be able to go Offspring. Offspringing this card is just so much better than not. And turn 3, I'll be able to go Intrepid Rabbit. Well, top decking these lands is not great. Wow, I really wish I didn't get rid of that. That's okay. Alright, sir, please do not remove my challenger. Remove the rabbit. He's a bigger threat. He has a higher base attack, man. He's also 3 cost. So it's so much better for you to get rid of that guy. Trust. I'm a professional rat jit, and I know what the threat here is. You know, I played like 3 total commander games in my life. I know about the threat assessment here. It's obviously the rabbit. I see a grading post with met with a grading as a scam comments. Does like collectors only kind of thing. Yeah, it's so funny. Sticky tongue, okay. Are you gonna bounce back your Clifftop Lookout, get another land? That'd be really good in 2 turns when you're dead. If this guy has a Polywallop for 2, I'm actually gonna be so triggered. He's gonna Polywallop on the stack. I already know it. I already know it. Polywallop on the stack. I can see it. I don't know why we're waiting here so long, bro. Just Polywallop on the stack. Bro, stop reading my bomb. I don't like that. They need to, like, there needs to be a setting. I literally called it.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
I literally called what this guy was going to do, but it took him 45 seconds to act out what he was going to do. Really fucking dumb. Hit for 3 trade, sure. Yes, Manifold Mouse is back. Manifold Mouse is back. Number 1, number 2. Don't worry, Manifold Mouse has entered the building. Do not be afraid. Wait, what the fuck is this? Why does he have this?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait, this card's unfair. Why do you have the mana to play this? This is such like a 2-color set. How do you actually like... Bro, that is so not worth it. This guy's cliff top. Cool lookout. Randomly hit him the land he needed to combo. That's so BS. Alright, you never block with your Helga here. You don't have any balls. No balls, I tell you. You won't block with the Helga. I randomly have some double hand buff, first strike stuff. Don't worry. I just have the double strike combat trick. I'm here. I'm Himothy. This is so scary. This is the point in the run where our opponent just starts pulling random bombs out of their ass because they just went into an uncontested lane and somehow have 6 bombs. That is the story of this format. You draft deck that's clean and fair magic, opponent just pulls 5 bombs out of the ass because for some reason they were able to get past the cavity search. Okay. That was so cool, man. I love that card, man. Such a cool card. Double strike. Double strike. Double strike. Trample. Double strike. Double strike. Trample. Haste, trample, double strike, double strike. That's cool. Yo, we got him for the 1 damage, boys. We got him. Oh my gosh, I'm being scammed. Double strike. Trample. Double strike. Alright, please do not let my opponent play a 5-cost card. Alright, well now I have something to do here. Double strike. Trample. Okay. Well, this very easily could be game. The 3-tree city, why are you playing that, bro? What? You have squirrels and frogs. That just seems really bad. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at this game.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Okay, that's amazing. Wait, no, why did I tap my white? Why did the auto tapper do me like that?
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Okay, thank you for quitting out because that was so sad. Why did the auto tapper double tap my white when that was the only play I had? Never let the auto tapper be in control. Trust. Wow, that was so sus, bro. That was so sus. Yeah, that was a Reno Jackson moment, man. It was high noon, so I need a high noon. If you know what a high noon is, then you're cultured. All right, let's put a nice little bow on this story, please. We need to put a bow on the story, baby. This is where dreams come true. All right, well, I don't have a white source. Hidden Grotto makes a white source. Emperor, Challenger, Scribe, I probably just keep. Especially since he's stuttering. Ooh, the Secret Service guy's talking again. That's cool. Alright, Opponent starts off with a forest here. I'm going to start off with a Hidden Grotto. Either it's a white or it's... no, I do actually kind of want that. That gives me something to do on the third turn. You know, considering this has haste, I think I'm more willing to just do this. Because if he has an interaction, he's going to kill that. And next turn I can go Heartfire and Emberheart Challenger. If he plays the Lookout, it represents the most amount of damage. Yeah, he has the Clifftop Lookout, so I played it correct. Awesome. Into a village, and I get a white. Okay, well now I need no more lands, please. Wow, I actually drew 3 Valiant cards. That's pretty impressive. Can I draw some non-lands, though, for the homies? Non-lands for the culture, please? See, I need to show my chat why they call me a rat bastard. Second Clifftop Lookout. Okay. Please do not have some insane bomb. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so flooded here. This is so fucked, man. He actually believes I have no combat trick? Dude, what? That is so fucking ballsy. The fact you're willing to do that is sus. He actually just called our bluff. Bro, I'm never doing that. That is such a low elo mistake, and the fact he did that is really sad. It's really bad for us because we did actually brick. But I have 4 open mana. I'm playing a Valiant deck, the deck that's most interested in playing combat tricks. The format is almost entirely based on combat tricks. And you're assuming I have nothing. I guess it's a guy. He can start targeting things. I really wish I had my Ember Heart Challenger still, though. But, I mean, I had to do that. I was developing nothing on the board. Pressure. Pressure. Yes, sir. Show me something, baby. No, stop. Miss me with that BS again. This card's so scary. If he actually has a 4-drop, that's going to be absurd. No, he actually had a 4-drop. Wow. Oh my gosh. This guy's such a high roller. Alright, somebody call the bank. This guy's going to need an extension on his credit line because he's a high fucking roller, boys. I have no idea why the computer is so scared to freaking tap Hidden Grotto. Like, it's almost makes Hidden Grotto slightly worse, because if you fuck up bad. That's really nice. What if I just attack with both and just Might of the Meek? Guaranteed to keep 1 here. Okay. Gets rid of my Scribe, but I still have the Mouse, and I have the Heartfire Hero to continuously buff. No 4-drop for Poppy. No. Why is that the best thing that they could have? You're kidding me.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Legitimately the best thing they could have had. I need gas. No, why am I bricking? I have so many bricks I could build a house, please. Wow, that's ballsy. No idea why you're letting that go through, but okay. Imagine this guy also has the Yagra card. He's a baker. Okay, he's getting life. I don't like that. Stop. He can tap for an absurd amount of mana. If he actually has a card with X... Oh, no. That's so bad. Wait, why would you not do that first? You always do that first, because now you're not making use of the card drawn. Bro, this guy's so bad. Why? Why am I top decking nothing? If I attack with this, he can just easily block. All he has to do is trade away 3 game pieces. And what do I have that gets me out of that? Crumb and get it. I think I legitimately let it sit as is. I'm not going to attack. And I'm just going to hold these cards. Maybe I should have played 1 land for the Alanias. Oh, he can search for a squirrel. That's so bad. Nettle Guard, that's really bad. I mean, he doesn't have any artifact and enchantments, right? I mean, this is going to trade for a lot of game pieces. Now I have actually like a real mouse. Okay, she's gonna give it to us. Let's go!
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, chat. We really did not deserve that, but that is just the icing on the cake. They knew what they were getting into when they stepped in the arena with the best of all time, Beats by Ash. Let's go. Repping out there for my doggies, boys. All right, well, that was an awesome run, and I'm really glad I got to showcase this on the channel because I have been having a lot of trouble making the red-white Valiant slash mouse archetype actually work. So I hope this gave you guys a little bit of insight on what makes a deck, what at least makes the deck somewhat viable. I'm not saying we had a perfect deck. We did have to get a little bit lucky, but I do think this is a pretty decent deck. I mean, Manifold Mouse, after this run, definitely taught me that this is a card that makes me very interested in moving into mice. Emperor Challenger, I think, is just a really good card and doesn't necessarily make me want to move into mice as much as it just makes me want to play an aggressive deck, which makes it a much stronger overall first pick because it's more versatile. And that's what I was kind of worried about with Manifold Mouse, is that if you don't end up with enough mice, it is just a bad card, but its ceiling is so insane when you actually do. Likewise, Quake Text board did actually come in, but most of the time we did side it out. And I think if you want to have this deck be at its best, you really want to play 16 lands and just have a really low curve with a lot of 1s and 2 drops, a lot of combat tricks, a lot of things that just allow you to push through damage. Banishing Light was my first time getting to use that card, and it was honestly amazing. Alania's Pathmaker, every time I played this, it just makes me more and more feel better about picking this early on because it's just a safe card that goes into pretty much any deck, and the stats pay for what you were getting, which is awesome. Flame Cache Gecko was actually pretty cool, and I'm glad I got to try it out here. I think it's not only just good within the Lizard deck, which is something I was skeptical about, and Blacksmith's Talent wasn't bad at all. If you draw it early, it can actually make your hands where you don't have, like, a super beneficial curve better. You just gotta have at least, like, 6 to 7 Valiant things, I think, if you want to get the full value out of it. Heartfire Hero is another one that I think is just awesome. If you are going down that full Valiant route, and it works really well with Manifold Mouse, so definitely keep your eye on it as well. Crumb and Get It and Might of the Meek, really good in this deck. And Nettle Guard, it's just a really good backup mouse to just start putting your buffs on, because always being 3/3 is cool, and being able to threaten destroying a artifact enchantment is amazing. Intrepid Rabbit actually really pulled its weight. This card almost might be considered better within the mice space than it is within the rabbit space, but it's definitely strong in both, and I highly recommend you pick this up anytime you're trying to stay open and you know you just want to be playing an aggressive white deck. And that is what we have got, and that's pretty much all I have got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed making the mice strategy viable for the first time for me personally as much as I did, and look forward to more Bloomburrow drafts in the future since Best 2 out of 3 is back online. So as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace. All right, the video has been set up. Easy to balloons, baby. All right, what do we got here? Whisker Veil, awesome. Mythic, awesome. Rare, awesome. Wow, those are really good 6-packs. Valley Flamecaller, I'm actually kind of down on. It doesn't really, like... I mean, it's okay in the Lizard deck, but overall, it's just a card that I think, like, I see rare, I see cool effect, and I just over-evaluate it. Do I have any crazy weekend plans? My crazy weekend plan is that tonight I have to go record a video for this doctor so that I can afford to pay my rent. Because I haven't heard back from this job, and there's just a lot of bad stuff happening in association with my money and my family member, like, recently passing away. Basically, like, these lawyers are trying to, like, cuckold me out of the money that I used to, like, pay for my house payment while awaiting a job. And I really only have, like, 6 months left of funds to be able to cover the house payment. So I'm trying to, like, get in at OSU Tulsa to meet with someone to see what degrees I could potentially get with my credits, to just get a different bachelor's that would allow me to get a job, because the deadline for that is coming soon, and I don't even know if I'll have my access to my money to, like, pay for it. But considering I haven't heard back from this job, and even if I do, I might not, even if the job eventually, like, came through, I wouldn't even, like, even be hired for probably, like, 3 months, which is honestly a long time. But I don't want to just start working another job, like, for like $10 an hour somewhere, and then be like, fuck you guys, I'm leaving 2 weeks in and get this job. So it's like a really stressful situation. So hopefully this job will give me a couple $100s to be able to, like, pay 1/4 or 5th of my rent for a month, which could potentially expand that. But I really hope that I'm able to, like, get into these classes and gain access to my money, because if not, I'll be in a lot of trouble, and it doesn't seem like my degrees are helping me out here. But also, there's just, like, a lot of anxiety associated with that, and trying to, like, figure these things out today. On top of the fact that this guy that I'm going to do this job for, I've done some, like, jobs for him in the past, and he just doesn't really explain me, like, what the implications of the situations are. He's just like, bring 2 cameras. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. And I really don't like that, because I like to have control of the situation and know, like, what all things I should bring and how the people are. And last time was actually kind of frustrating, because, like, the first time I worked for this guy, it was just a terrible setup, and people were, like, walking in front of the footage, and I don't like to do something for someone when, like, it's not going to be, like, a good product. And then on top of that, like, last time, it's just, like, the other people who were speaking just didn't understand how recording a video, like, works and what you need to be doing with the microphone. It was just kind of, like, irritating. But I got the money, which is fine. Alright, welcome back to another Bloomburrow draft on the channel. Our rare here is... what is this called? Can I not see this? Is like... okay. Alright, I guess I'm just not allowed to zoom in on the cards to actually read them, so I'm gonna have to go up by the pictures. I'm gonna tell you right now, this rare is ass. But we do see a Quake Tusk Boar, which is just a really versatile card. Probably gonna be my pick. There's also a Strike Force, which I think both of these are equally pretty good in their own right. I tend to have a preference towards the Quake Tusk Boar, just because, like, I'd rather be starting in red instead of white in this format, personally. But I do think Strike Force is pretty awesome. And then, I mean, there's also an Alania's Pathmaker, as well as a Longstalk Brawl and a Junkblade Bruiser, which are all cards I'd be happily fine playing in a red-green space, which makes me think that the Quake Tusk Boar gives us better value to actually wheel something here. Alright, what do we got going on in this pack? So, there's a Bare Knuckle Boxer, a card I actually really like a lot. There's also a Teapot Slinger, one that I haven't gotten to play with, but I've seen people do really good things. There's a Builder's Talent, which someone actually recently messed us up with, but I'm not going to be doing that. That is not a good thing to be doing in this format. It's just too gimmicky. You have to have too many, like, non-creature, non-other things in your deck that just are not great. Probably just take the Teapot Slinger and just keep going down this path. Or maybe I do want this. Yeah, actually, I think the Boxer is quite a bit better. The Boxer also leaves us open to playing a different green deck. It's just good in any green deck. The Teapot Slinger is really only good in the Raccoon deck, and I don't want to, like, commit to that now, even though it's another red card. So I'll take the Boxer. Not convinced I have to play red. Hey, there's another Teapot Slinger. We got another chance, guys. Another chance is here. There's also a Stock in the Pantry. Cool. Let's see if I click on something, if I can, like, hover over the cards. Dude, why can I not hover over cards? I want to be able to read them. Okay. I maybe actually just want this Teapot Slinger now. Not a great green card here. Stock in the Pantry is cool, but I don't think you want it early because you kind of want to have things to do with it. It was actually a Roughshod Duo. Roughshod Duo and Teapot Slinger are kind of like in the same like space. You know, considering that this guy is not only a raccoon, he's also a mice, maybe I'm more interested in that. Yeah, I think I am probably more. It's easier to find things that cost 4 than it is like things that give you benefits for it. Card just goes into more decks. Wait, is that an Innkeeper's Talent? I can't even see. Dude, this is so bad. Okay, well, this is an Innkeeper's Talent, and this is probably green's second best rare or mythic. So I'm going to pick that up here. It's basically just a better version of the other class card for green. There's also a Rabidnaw and a Take Out the Trash, as well as a Treetop Sentries, which tells me I'm probably doing the right thing since these premium cards are still in the pack at pick 4. Yeah, so at the beginning of your turn, you get to put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and then permanents with counters get Ward 1, which is absurd. So yeah, Innkeeper's Talent is crazy. Alright, well, there's a Junkblade Bruiser I wouldn't mind taking here. There is also a Cash Grab, which specifically is for the Squirrels deck. I haven't seen a Squirrel card yet, but if you at least care about the graveyard, I think it's worth it. Considering the pathway we're going down, I know I'm trying to play some kind of like big green deck in general, even if it's not like 100% green-red. I'm going to take the Junkblade Bruiser. Like that card a lot. Okay. Not a lot left for us in this pack. Tangle Tumbler's a card I definitely would like to try out at some point, but I haven't been in a position to play this green-white token deck. Seems like every person I go against that is playing that deck just has an absurd strategy, and I would love to try it out. But that's not the way the cards are rolling today, so I guess I'll take Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Could be okay, lets you bounce back your ETBs. 3/3 reach is fine. Not a card I'm excited about. Ooh, well there's another Bare Knuckle Boxer. I am pretty excited about that. It's just a strong 2-drop. Really good for the red-green deck because it lets you be aggressive ASAP, which is what you want to do. And then there's a Polywallop, which we found out from the last time we went red-green that this card was actually really exceptional because it allows you to spend 4 mana. So even without a frog, it's still good. And then we do have 1 frog, which can make it even better. So looking pretty nice here. Second Junkblade Bruiser or our first Longstock Brawl. I mean, given I already have 2 5s, I'll probably take the Longstock Brawl here. Longstock Brawl is very, very nice in a deck where all my creatures are looking to be pretty high value. Especially with Bare Knuckle Boxer getting indestructible. Okay, so there is a Bell. Bell is fine. I think it's actually better than a lot of people have made it seem. Just because, like, if it enables you to splash a bomb, cool, right? High Stride is also good, but those tend to go pretty late as well. We can probably get one of those. I'd rather have this Bell in case we are offered a bomb, so we have the option to play it. Heaped Harvest is cool, but I'm not in the Forge deck. The Pantry card is cool. I have one thing that makes 1/1 counters. Maybe it becomes relevant. Ooh, Hidden Grotto is great if you want to splash something. So primarily green, looking to be red here. 15th pick Mind Spiral, very interesting. All right, pack number 2, our rares are... Dude, this is really bothering me. I can't... What if I change the view? Okay, we can see them a little bit better. All right, pack number 2, our rares are Zoraline Cosmo Collar, which is an absurd bomb, and so is Gev. Unfortunately, those are both for decks that we're not really in a position to play. I guess the thing that's the most for us here is this Tree Trop Root Weaver. This is a pretty strong pack, so there is a slight chance we actually get back this Uncharted Haven, which would be nice. I do think the Treetop Root Weaver is not the greatest card, but this, in my opinion, is probably the best space for it, since it allows you to skip turn 3 and go right to a 4-drop, which is what the expend decks are about. All right, what do we got going on here? So we have a third copy of Bare Knuckle Boxer, which is pretty nice. There's also a Paw Patch formation. A lot of people have been playing that, but I'm not sold that this is a great card. Also a Corpse Fairy Cultivator. Yeah, I'm going to pick up the third Bare Knuckle Boxer. Bare Knuckle, it's Bark Knuckle. No, I keep thinking about Bare Knuckle from the Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. Ooh, this is a really nice pack. We got a pick 3 Rabid Gnaw. You can sign me up for that. We're looking in really good fashion to build up a nice red-green deck. Already have a Quake Tusk Boar and a Junk Blade Bruiser for the top end. 3 Bark Knuckle Boxer at the bottom with an Innkeeper's Talent. And Rabid Gnaw to add to the curve there. Alright, so not a lot going on here. Alania's is fine. Agate Assault is fine. I think it's a little bit easier to find these 4-drops than it is removal. So I think I'm going to take this Agate Assault. Okay, well, there's a Take Out the Trash. A very premium removal spell in this deck specifically. How many raccoons do we have so far? 1. Oh, we have 5. Okay, that's awesome. 5 raccoons taking the trash out, baby. Looking pretty sharp. Now I am looking for actually maybe some high-costed cards here. Let's go ahead and redo our curve here. Personally, I like to sort my non-creatures and creatures, so I just know where I'm at. I'm going to consider Innkeeper's Talent like a creature because it's proactive. Just want to know how many proactive cards versus reactive cards I have in each curve. All right, pick 6. Wow, an Essence Channeler number 2. This is like a replica of a pack we already saw. I mean, I could be down for this Head of the Homestead. Card's fine. Don't yet have any squirrels, so it's not like Cash Grab is crazy. Yeah, Head of the Homestead is just a fine 5-drop. If we get like an AoE buff, it could be okay. And there's not really a lot I'm very interested in here. Ooh, this is a really nice pack, though. Second Pantry, Rough Shield Rampager. And there's a Tree Guard duo. Probably most interested in the Tree Guard duo. I actually like this card a lot. This isn't the best space for it. I mean, this is a raccoon, though. Nah, I think this card is just so much better, right? Yeah, it is so much better. I only have really 1 synergy of just being a raccoon. I'm going to take it. Our deck is pretty aggressive. Ooh, second Tree Chopper Weaver. We are in a great position to splash a bomb if offered. Okay. Whisker Cool Scribe. I could be down for that. It's just a 2-drop. Nothing too fancy here. Typically, I like to have like 5 or 6 cards that trigger expend. I'm not really interested in anything here. Take that guy because he's cool. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, wait, no, we actually get an Uncharted Haven. We're taking that all day. Yeah, now we actually have good fixing. So we're actually in a great position to play a bomb, especially with our Root Weavers. Pack number 3. Our rare is Emberheart Challenger. As you saw in our last draft, card was great. Probably just interested in that. I mean, we have a relatively nice amount of instants and sorceries to be able to trigger Prowess, which probably makes the card fine enough. Also have a Rabid Gnaw, Longstalk Brawl, and a Polywallop, all of which trigger this ability to be able to allow us to look at the top card of our deck and potentially play it that turn. Not a lot that I'm interested in getting back on the wheel here. If we end up caring about the graveyard, could be a Cash Grab angle. Could also just pick up this Frilled Spark Shooter if we just want another 4-drop, but this is going to be the pick here. Alright, well, let's see some big bombs. So, this card is actually really bad. I hate to tell anyone that was hyped to see something cool with this. You really can't do anything cool with it. I'm just taking another Longstalk Brawl here. How many creatures do we have? 13? Okay. Oh my gosh! Boys! Boys!
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Brother Hugs has entered the chat, baby. Brother Hugs is here. Never fear. Probably the best bomb we could be offered, and we are so happy to take it. Alright, so there's this Dryad guy, which I don't have any squirrels, nor do I also have food generation. Am I just playing the second Head of the Homestead? I think I'm not playing it, but okay. Wow, the fact I have a Hugs makes me so happy. Hugs is the GOAT, man. Really be out here doing that thing. Hidden Grotto, hop to it. Okay, how many raccoons do I have? 5. Okay, yeah, I don't think that the banner is great in this deck. Banner is not ideal. I'll get Assault just for more removal. Yeah, we're playing Hugs Control, baby. Let them know about the Hugs Control. You know how we roll, baby. This deck looks great. I just want one more high-costed card so I don't have to play Head of the Homestead. A lot of good 2-drops, though. A lot of good early interaction. Another Head of the Homestead. That's hilarious. There's an Overprotect, which I'm fine with. 14 creatures is okay. Yeah, if I had to play one of these cards, it's probably this. This is just a better version of High Stride, so okay. Been having good success with one of those. One more late game card would be great. Maybe a second Junk Blade Bruiser. I'd be very happy about that. Okay, once again, could I be offered something other than the Head of the Homestead, please? That's all I'm asking. All that she wants is anything other than a Head of the Homestead. Please. I don't want to play this card. I have so much removal. This is ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous, guys. I'm going to have to ask you to calm down. I'm not really in the business of foraging. Trigger Duo actually could be fine. It might actually just be better than the Rust Shield Wreck Rampager. This card's insane, but I need a high-costed card here. Late Cash Grab. Yeah, I'm not playing any of these. I'll take this. Corpse Berry. Why have you come so late? Wow, deck looks great. I'm saying that just because we have a Hugs. Hugs makes me happy. I have so much removal. It's not even funny. Hey, we get this Recycler guy. That's actually pretty relevant. A lot of people don't like this card. I'm a fan. A fan of the Recycler, for show. Alright, second Cash Grab. Well, green was the place to be. I think I would have been better off playing Squirrels. But, you know, I think we ended up with a fine deck overall. Return target permanent for your graveyard to hand. If the guest was wrong, instead return 2. Cool card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I don't want to play that card, but I might have to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eight removals is pretty high. Could be convinced that it's this Whisker Quill Scribe, but I do have like a high amount of cards that allow me to target, so maybe rummaging is somewhat valuable. 15 creatures. Interesting. Okay. So I have like 3 good finishers, and then I have these guys, which can bump up. Maybe I do play this Head of the Homestead. It's the fact I have a bomb to buy back, which makes me think I might be somewhat interested in playing this Peerless Recycling. Maybe I'm least interested in playing the Sticky Tongue Sentinel. I mean, Polywallop does trigger our Expend. We aren't that interested in Expend, but it is a thing we have going on. And it does work for targeting in terms of Whisker Quill and... You know, that's the only thing that really cares about targeting. This looks deck looks great. Play that card. Maybe. How am I split? 10, 15. I mean, my deck's pretty good at accelerating. And, like, I have 2 3-tree Root Weaver. I could be very easily convinced that it's just this Hidden Grotto every time. Yeah, I think I'm cool with that. Alright, so if you don't know what Hugs does, whenever he enters, exile top X cards until you end of your next turn. You may play those cards. And you may play an additional land on each of your turns. And it has a cost of 4 plus X. So really cool card if you're able to ramp mana, which is kind of what our deck's trying to do. So I actually really like that. I would play Head of the Homestead, but we just don't really have any ways to gain a bonus from it. Sticky Tongue is kind of but that's okay. Alright, well, we ended up with a pretty awesome red-green beats deck, once again, led by the commander-in-charge, Hugs Grizzly Guardian, which can allow us to get access to a lot of card selection and play a lot of lands and punch in for a bunch of damage. And we actually ended up with a lot of removal here. Longstalk Brawl, Rabid Gnaw, Take Out the Trash, Agate Assault, and Polywallop, one that I think a lot of people would be surprised by because I have one frog. Just being able to pay 4 mana and trigger expend is great. The only thing we're missing is, like, if we could add, like, another Junkblade Bruiser and didn't have to play these Tree Guard duo instead, probably make this deck absurd. But overall, looks amazing. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. Shout out my boy Hugs, and shout out to the Spaghetti Code of MTG Arena for not allowing me to hover over my cards to see what I'm picking. Very, very cool. All right, I'll be right back. All right, boys and girls, it's game over. Got my homie Hugs. All right, let's redo this. We got to put our boy Hugs on the front face of this. No, change the picture to Hugs. Change the picture to Hugs. I'm dragging. Yes? No? All right, we have to restart the client. It's literally required. If our picture cannot be Hugs, we cannot win the game. Our picture must be Hugs. Need a battle royale? All right, I got you, son. And I just want to put some respect on the best sandwich I've ever made. Shout out to Swiss, who make the best cheese. Got some turkey breast. Got some Swiss. Got some spinach. I'm not going to lie. Anyone who uses lettuce on their sandwiches, you're either poor or you're not cultured. Because spinach is literally just the big brother to lettuce. And I genuinely believe spinach is probably like one of the lowest quality things you could be using. Like it tastes like water. You basically get nothing from it. Spinach is actually healthy for you, provides you like certain vitamins in it, and it actually tastes good. I've never understood why people don't like spinach. Wow. Bro, you literally can't beat Moobot. Okay, I need to ask you this. Tell me why every time I do a battle royale, it's always you and Moobot in the end. I've never even gotten to the end. It's always just you and Moobot, like every time. That's actually so funny. Like it's never been anyone except both of you, even when there's multiple people in it. Wait, can I actually hover over my cards now? Oh my gosh, I can hover over cards and read them. This is cool. You're actually being bullied. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the entire set. It's just cool. This guy's named Hugs because he's like hugging a thing that he just killed. He hugged it too hard, so he killed it. Kind of like me, you know? This card's just so cool. It does all the cool things I'm interested in as a green mage. All right, match number 1. Let the Hugs regime march onward. Okay. We have no Hugs, which is honestly sus as fuck. We do have an Innkeeper's talent, which is cool. And I have removal on 2. Realistically, if I get to 3 mana, I'm winning the game. And that is the story of every hand I keep until I'm fucked by the hand smoother. And that's why I no longer play best of 1. I'm a retired best of 1 player. Oh, baby, we're so nice. Innkeeper's talent has to be one of the most absurd overpushed cards I have seen in standard history. That's really nice. All right, don't worry. Our guy will eventually just have permanent ward. That's how the game goes. Okay, well, that was really nice. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to deal 3 here because I need a cycle. And I'm going to discard... You know what? Let's do Agate Assault. Draw green. I'm nice. I'm that guy. I'm just that guy, okay? Wow. This is so cool. I love Innkeeper's talent. There's so much talent and skill involved in these plays. It's not like the deck plays itself. That's not true. Ooh, Dream Dew and Transfer. Nice. That's a really cool card. Oh my gosh, Hugs is here.
Yes, I see.
Okay.
Good news, everyone.
Awesome. Good news. Hugs is here, everyone. Hugs. Okay. I kind of just want to kill this guy. And I have the mana to be able to do that and Innkeeper's talent, and I can just hold off on Hugs. Level 2, baby. Polywallop. Polywallop, Polywallop, Polywallop. Oh, and this guy can target other people. That's nice. Alright, don't mind me, sir. I'm just hitting you for 6-5 indestructible. It's okay. If you need to quit out, it's okay. I don't want to show you my Hugs this game. Let's go. No Hugs needed, baby, and no mercy either. That was dirty. Tell me why I just steamrolled that guy. Like whenever Will goes against Moobot. Too soon. I'm dead. Alright, let me put this up while this guy's frustrated about my Hugs. Alright, I don't know how many, I don't know how anybody else feels, but there's just something special when you have a Hugs in your possession, and you know that you steamrolled your opponent so bad with that Hugs that they're going to need a hug afterward. And I think that's why I like the card so much. I mean, that's a respectable reason to like the card, right? Alright, game number 2. We do not have access to a Hugs. We do have the ability to surveil for a Hugs. And we have the Ember Heart Challenger, which is nice. Yeah, we're nice right now. Surveil. Yeah, get that out of here. That's gross. We're not doing that. Yeah, we don't want that. We want a Hugs, baby. Bond Profit. Sheesh. That's a good card. Good card, good. That card, not very good. Alright, we're going to top deck the perfect 4-drop next turn. We really be doing that thing. Okay. I mean, that's a card that's very actually very nice here. So I can go Challenger, and I can go to Combat here. And if he has a trick, I can actually Overprotect, and if he doesn't, I go Bare Knuckle. Which I'm fine with. Hexproof. Man, that's just a lot of damage. And we got a land out of the way we didn't want to draw. That's cool. Yeah, that was awesome. Next turn, I can just go for the duo. The dynamic duo. Frog and Rabbit Wombo combo. Ooh, he also has a duo. It's going to be a duo via duo battle. Except my duo will be giving my guy Vigilance. And I'll be triggering his ability. So I think there are levels to this game that we just need to respect. You know, in the words of John Jones, you're just a pawn in my game, baby. Maybe I should have held that because then I could have, you know, played the top card of my deck if it was a land. Probably just generally speaking better. But who cares? I never cared about lands like that. I actually care about that land so much. Why the fuck did I do that?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Bro really said, I'm going to block with my pawn profit. Ha. Gay. Take that back to the pawn with you. No, he's a junk play bruiser. The card's better than my cards. I need mine. No. I didn't ask for this. Did not request this. We'll go green here. We'll go for the boxer. Well, I am glad I'm getting rid of lands. Because really just anything, like Hugs would be crazy. Pretty much just Hugs would be the best card. Oh, he's playing an Alanius, and he's not playing a red-blue spells deck. That's a big oomph. I think that was a mistake. He's going 6/6. He is tapped out. He would be able to kill both my guys. I'll let you 2 for 1. I'm feeling nice. I think 5 colors like MTG is a healthy variety. OT TCG feels less uniquely distinct with 6 colors. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, personally, in my opinion, I think yellow as well as black were just completely unnecessary. I think they were just unnecessary in all aspects. And I think the 4 colors got it right. And them adding the additional 2 colors just made things a lot worse. Like, yellow, in its essence of what yellow is supposed to be about, is just a terrible process design for a archetype, right? Because the theme of yellow is specifically based about being lucky. That is not fun. That is when you want to go play Hearthstone. So when you're introducing that to a physical game, I find it really unenjoyable. Because the entire proposition of triggers is really just adding nothing to the game. They've tried it in other games, and triggers have always just made games less fun and less enjoyable, and require the game to have less thought. And the fact that you're going to design an entire, like, identity of a theme around getting lucky and just sacking the other player is just a big FU to the player base in general. Because it makes people who are dedicating all of their time to get better at the game feel very unrewarded when they've been grinding, then go against their buddy who showed up to, then go against some guy who had his buddy playing his first tournament and let him use a yellow Big Mom deck where he just went back-to-back Big Mom. Haha, I win, you lose. Haha, I win, you lose. Like, that's not fun. No one likes that. And it really has shown, like, the game just continues to be less and less skill-based. As, like, there's usually one deck that requires, like, a minimal amount of thought process. And then a lot of the other decks are just luck. Like, once you understand the base mechanics of the game, this is what I never understood. So, the game was fun in the beginning because not everyone fully understood the base mechanics. There was some outplay potential. Once people actually started understanding all of the full mechanics, it started to be really unfun because they did not continue to build up the depth of the game. And had they have added new ways to play the game, new mechanics that require you to think differently and think differently about piloting these new strategies, the game would be thriving. But they have chosen not to do that and just target the casual user who sees Nami tits and like, I buy tits. You know, that's really what it is. And it's like, you don't need to be attacked. They're just stealing the proposition of what every other major card game company does. And it's really stupid. Because the reason why major card game companies are moving to the philosophy of just targeting casual players is already kind of a bad deal. But like, One Piece doesn't need to do that because the game already has an IP established to it to where casuals will always buy into it for that IP. So for that reason alone, you don't need to target that market. For Magic, it's somewhat beneficial because there's not a lot to build off of the IP. The average person doesn't know what the fuck a Jace or a Karn is. I don't even know what the most iconic character in Magic the Gathering is, and I started playing the game 10 years ago. And even when I wasn't playing, I would, I'd see different things. Maybe I'd watch a video. Still to this day, I don't know anything associated with the IP of Magic, like that really pops out to me. One Piece, it doesn't really matter. Like, they just need to focus on the building the like competitive and like, just the competitive aspect of the game, because the IP will just carry the casual base forever. The cards being ass and the game not being fun will not carry itself and will just make people cease to stop playing the game, which it already has. And if the cards were made better and the new strategies were made better, no one would be complaining about not being able to get into tournaments. It's the fact that both are not true. Oh shit, we off the drink again, boys. Yes, sir. Hugs in this bitch. Hey, hugs in this bitch. Didn't even need him. I don't know why that guy quit out. We were literally top decking garbage. Do you think yellow would be more justified if it was the only color to get the trigger mechanic? No, that would be, I mean, that would just be even more unfun. I think triggers should be deleted. Triggers should have been never input into the game, and it would make the game so much more enjoyable. The game is already very high if you compare the RNG level of the game in practice, even without triggers, compared to all other card games. It has the highest level of variance out of any physical card game by miles, right? Like, there's not a lot of agency you have as a player. Like, the highest level of agency is being able to use Sakazuki and be like, do I discard this card or that card? That's not a high agency decision. People are like, oh my god, I'm so skill-based, dude. I'm discarding the card so that I can play my 4-cost Rablucci, and then I can remove 2 of your cards. And it's like, well, that's not really skill-based. It's just, you have the only card in your deck that is currently legal in the game that allows you to trade 2 for 1. And having cards in the graveyard are just a cost associated with that card. So they already just straight up tell you how to put the card on the battlefield, and it just extracts value and wins you the game on its own. What is skillful about that? It's really, really stupid. And these people just think they're really high skill based. I'm like, bro, I will play you in anything that is a skill over luck. And if you think you're skill based in that aspect, I will destroy you. I'm not even saying that good, but that's just like, that's just the point of the matter, is that these people just think that they're insane for doing stuff that really does not require any skill. And the triggers, going back to that in set 1, I just explained it like this. Gum Gum Jet Pistol was the best piece of removal in set 1. Gum Gum Jet Pistol was also the most likely card that you would have see a trigger activated during the game, right? Because yellow wasn't out. So the thing is, why are you playing that card? You're not playing it because it has a trigger. You're playing it because it's the most efficient removal in the game. And even if it didn't have a trigger, you would still play the card. You're just playing, like, the fact it has a trigger is just a bonus effect of the card. And that's why triggers are fundamentally useless, because you're never putting a card in your deck specifically because it has a trigger. You're always putting the card in your deck because it's a good card and it also has a trigger. It having a trigger is irrelevant to justifying whether the card goes into your deck, because if you're playing this card, it might have the best trigger in the game. And if you're playing that card and its actual effect has 0 impact on the game state, then you're just putting a brick into your deck. And that's just not a good deck building practice. And so when you really think about it, triggers do nothing but add additional variance and additional feelings for a player who went against someone who activated a trigger to feel like they had no control and no agency of the outcome of the game. And that's really all that yellow provides. Like, yeah, Big Mom is irritating, but like, it's the fact that the guy can just consistently activate 3 triggers in a row, and it also just adds, like, yellow in a hole is also frustrating to play against, not including Big Mom. At least for the entire time that I played. I don't know if, like, I doubt that it's changed. I don't think it has, to be honest with you. But the main reason it's frustrating, even aside from those, is that the games basically play out the exact same way every time, because it's fundamentally about how many triggers that you get. So usually it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what your opponent does. It matters how many triggers are revealed in their life during the course of the game. And that's pretty much the story of all of the yellow decks. Like, the yellow cards aren't even that insane. It's the fact that if you trigger 2 times in the first 4 turns of the game, you have a 90% chance to win regardless of the matchup. And that was always the case. Even in the Whitebeard meta, where Whitebeard was really good against yellow because it null and voided your Big Moms, if that player triggered a trigger summoned a character out of their life for the first 2 life, the Whitebeard player now had like a 15% chance to win that match. And that's like a 70-30 match for the Whitebeard player. But the fact that that's just a thing that can come up just adds, like, there's no counterplay to it. It's like either your opponent does this thing or doesn't, which means you as the person who's playing against it has no agency. And it's also just even more unforgiving in that aspect because it's really simple to fulfill those game conditions. I mean, I've had someone show up for their first tournament and, like, I mean, this is how bad the game is. Like, I remember in like the first or second set of the game, we had my friend Jovi, he pulled up and we let him use the purple Kaido deck and he was drunk and he actually beat someone his first time playing the game. He literally learned the game drunk 15 minutes before, but because he had staged Kaido, he actually just beat someone. Imagine being the person who's like dedicating a large amount of time per week to trying to get good and you lose to a person who was drunk and had staged Kaido, and you're like, damn, I really don't want to be wasting like 20 hours of my week into this game because there's really not that much skill. And so that's why I think the whole aspect of people like acting like they're like insanely skill-based at the game for topping an event is really null and void. It's really not an expression of your mental fortitude. And for the same reason, because it's so easy to lose to someone who puts no time into the game, and it's like a relatively decent chance you'll incur at least one of those opponents who could do that to you across like an 8 or 9 round tournament, that also builds the suspicion on people who top 8 events back to back to back. That's why personally, in my mind, I'm not going to automatically accuse anyone, but if I see someone top 8 multiple events in a row, and I don't personally know them, I would not be surprised if it came out that they are in fact cheating, or at least being a rule shark and trying to manipulate things, because you can only gain so much of an advantage, especially when the person's not playing like the best deck in the meta. Well, then how are you doing that, dude? The most suspect was whenever the Whitebeard nerfs occurred and all of the good cards were limited to 1, and then the guy just topped with the deck who played 15 one-ofs. And he won the tournament, 10-round event. I'm like, bro, you're so blatantly cheating. And then you just didn't top in person. It's like, oh, so what you're doing is you're just admitting you're cheating. Why would you make a video about this? There's actually a person I know from Oklahoma who is a confirmed cheater. And in this one specific event, he literally just stacked his boats. He was playing Boatbeard. Boatbeard was by no means the best deck in the format. There's just a 4F card called the Boat. And there's no way to search it at this time because it was set 2. And this guy drew his boat 8 out of 9 rounds. He gets into the top cut, does not draw the boat because he can't stack on stream, and he just loses, and he gets frustrated, lost. A second guy in that tournament played 1 boat in his deck, not even 4. He drew the boat every single one of the 9 rounds of Swiss. All right, hopping into match number 2 here. Start off with a green, assert our dominance. We have an Innkeeper's Talent, which can target the Emberheart Challenger, so we're going rare on rare crime. Well, actually, I think given that we have a 3-tree Root Weaver, this is probably just better. Because now this means I can actually do that next turn without having to risk anything on the board. Like, if he doesn't kill this, that play is 100% confirmed to go through, and we're lit. Okay, we're so lit, boys. He doesn't know the power of the double bomb synergy. Who would have known, baby? Alright, just gonna go Emberheart Challenger. Kind of a base play. You know, I know a lot of people haven't seen this play before. I just have 2 rares. Don't worry about it, buddy. Beep. Yes, sir. Love me some Valiant this time of year. Oh, that was really fun and interactive. I just have a 4/4 with the potential to generate extra card selection and haste on turn 3 of the game with an infinite value engine that then adds protection. I love this deck, man. Shout out my homie Hugs for putting me on the deck, bro. Get in for the 1. Okay, he's fucking off with the 1 damage. You need a pass? Awesome. You love to see it, baby. Yes, sir. Ski, baby. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and grotto and surveil real quick here. Quick little surveil with the blicky. Ooh, okay. Do I actually want that? So how does this play out? I pay my 1. I'm representing 5 mana. That's 2/4. That is just a creature that can then be targeted by my Innkeeper's Talent. So I'm actually willing to keep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this to level 2. Now giving my guy Ward 1, which basically makes him unkillable. And I could actually just go to level 3. Which is pretty insane. My guy already has Ward 1, but I think I'd rather just get in there. Every day I'm targeting. Yes, sir. Ooh, baby, a triple. Leave that guy up for the mana potential. Bro's not stacking the carrot cake. That was such a misplay. You could have blocked with the 1/1. Drop down the Whisker Cool Scribe. +1, baby. I'm actually just smoke screening the mice. Don't worry about it. I'm just smoke screening here. Imagine if this guy actually pays the ward cost and then I just give it hexproof. That would be so based. And then also, if I do that during his turn, I will get to keep the card exiled by the challenger face up until the end of mine. So it's actually really nice. I think there are very few outs to him getting out of this. Okay. And we have a rummage from this. It would be nice to have another green mana, but the grotto does help out, and the root weaver for sure. Just gonna pass, okay? That's so gross. I really didn't want that. I mean, given the circumstance, I definitely want to rummage. So let's do this. I don't know why the computer just has such a problem with me tapping this hidden grotto, but I'm going to do that. We're going to level 3, baby. Level 3 is the bee's knees. I'm going to go ahead and draw and discard. Let's get rid of this for us. Uncharted Haven's actually kind of nice. You can make a green. Ooh, that's good. I'm cool with it. There we go, baby. Everyone, get in there. That's 8 to the face, 8 to the dome. Word 1 across the board, baby. What are you doing here? Yeah, that's a no-go for me, Chief. I can't let that pass. Overprotect. I'm protective of my children. There's a reason they call me Johnny the Mice Shit, baby. Yes, sir. For the people, by the people. We're going to get in for some big damage here. I'm sorry, sir. My card has a word 1 cost. Okay. Wait, what was the purpose of that? Wait, that was so bad. Whoa, why would you do that, sir? You literally just went -1 in card advantage to mitigate 3 damage. Okay. Well, unfortunately, there's no way for you to bypass Ward 1 on everything. It's just an unfair aspect of the game. Don't blame me. I don't make the rules. I just play Hugs and abuse them, you know? Hugs really out here be the MVP. And I want you guys to take note that a big part of this draft series on the channel is all about me drafting around a really awesome bomb and then never drawing it. Oh shit, my opponent is bombing out. He has a bomb of equal power level. This is not fair. He actually just exiled something, but I got a card. Oh, wait, I just win. Wait, why does that have indestructible? Oh, he just gets an indestructible counter forever? That's not fair. Okay. So what if I just do this? That allows me to play 2 creatures and then I just hold the board to go for more damage. I have no one with trample. I could just go boar. Boar season, baby. Yeah, let's just be real here. We're going face. Face the place, baby. Take your 9. Like, you're going to double block one of my 4s, and you're going to take 9. Let's be real, bro. We know what you're doing here. Oh, he's actually doing that? That's such a bad block. Brother, you're going to take 9 damage. Okay. Wow, you got rid of my Mana Dork. The card that I least cared about as I continuously flooded out for 3 turns and leave me with 3 big threats that ultimately will end in your demise. Hop to it, okay? You're gonna get to draw 1 card. Sir, unfortunately, my Quick Dust board does, in fact, have Trample. I mean, that's just how the game works. Please do not have some Bite spell. If you have a Dirty Bite spell, I'm gonna have to call the judge here. Okay, no Longstalk Brawl. We are good to go, boys. Rolling on the river. If he has Indestructible, do I still get to deal trample damage? I think I do. Yeah, that should be Rapskis. Ashkai. Let's go! Nicely done, sir. No hugs needed. I really wish the One Piece TCG went with attack and defense stat cards, because I think that adds a lot more variety to card viability and generic power level cards. So you mean like cards would have like, instead of having a counter value, it just has an attack and defense? Or whenever you're defending, it would have a different power if you wanted to kill something? Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is that they just don't really care about the game mechanics. They don't actually care about progressing the game. Because when you think about this, and a lot of people are just, they're very addicted to this game, and this happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot too. But a lot of these people are like, oh my gosh, this is the best game ever created because they've been enjoying it, and respect to them. But they're wearing rose-tinted glasses, and they basically believe, like, yeah, the game company always has my best interest. And those are probably the same people who believes the government has their best interest. The game company is there to make money. And if we look at the history of Bandai, what does the company do? They have no long-standing TCG with a span of 30 years like the other major companies. What they do is they create a new TCG every 3 to 4 years, even sometimes more frequently than that. And as that TCG starts to die off in popularity, where they've created a bunch of hype in the beginning, and they only release a small amount of product to create supply and demand issues, then they pump and dump that game. They slowly stop releasing support until they come out with a new game. And it's basically like off-brand cryptocurrencies. It is a huge pump and up strategy. Just look at the history of the company. They've done it 7+ times. Look at the Dragon Ball TCG. I've been playing card games for 10 years. I don't even know anyone who plays the Dragon Ball TCG. Like, bro, that's just ass. And the Digimon TCG. That shit's dead too. I mean, all that shit's just dead because it's a pump and dump strategy. And there's all these people like saying, One Piece is the best. It's going to survive forever. It's like, no, they're just going to only cater to the casual market of people who buy this because it has Nami tits. And you just think that because you're probably cheating and winning like money. And you're like, oh my God, this is more money than I've ever made, man. My McDonald's salary has never given me the power to like win a prize Luffy or some shit. All right, game number 2, not looking the best for us. Only have a 1 land. I'm going to throw it back, and hopefully my boy Hugs can tag in. Haven't seen the man, the myth, the legend yet. Okay, I actually have 2 lands here with the 3 tree. I'm actually super surprised at how good 3 tree's been. Because when you think about it, this card doesn't really fit into any other archetype. Maybe green-blue if you are splashing like a bomb. But this card is just good in the deck because there are generic top-end cards you want to be utilizing without splashing. And therefore, I think this is the best ceiling for the card. Gonna put back the Whisker Wheel because we got turn 2 Root Weaver. And then maybe just go turn 3 Tree Guard. Yes, sir. I love looking at Battle Spirit Saga box prices that have dropped below MSRP. Yeah, nobody wants it. It's hilarious. All right, Weeva. What's going on, Ward? How you doing, bro? All right, don't worry. We have a Hugs, bro. We're literally popping off. Harvest Right Host. A card that is really good, but you don't really have the setup for it. I'm doing good, bro. We have a Hugs. So this is the deck. We have a Hugs Grizzly Guardian, which is absurd. We also have a Junkblade Bruiser and a Quake Tusk Boar, so crazy top end. Literally like 8 removal spells and Innkeeper's Talent, which has been absurd. This card just continuously puts 1/1 counters on things and then gives them ward forever, which is just absurd. So deck's looking pretty nice right now. All right, how do we want to play this? So we do have the option to just go like Tree Guard Duo here. I feel like this is just like an immediate threat because regardless of whether this does damage to me, it can allow him to draw cards, which makes me feel like it's probably best to just do this right now. And then honestly, if I wanted to, I could just kill his token. Is that worth it? Probably not. I mean, I don't know that he even has like the green, white, gold card, which would make me more interested in just killing this. If we get any land here, it's just a Quake Tusk Boar all day, baby. Quake Tusk Boar and the Moose, the 6/6 Elemental Moose, are very easily becoming my favorite cards in this format because stats are key. So you're just going to pass. I'm representing 4 mana. I'm missing a land drop here, so I feel forced to just do this. I have a feeling that he's either planning on using his Carrot Cake or he just has a combat trick to kill my Root Weaver. So I'm just going to pass. I think it would be respectable to Polywallop, but he's going to get another token anyway. Polywallop has been surprisingly good in this archetype because it triggers Expend. So most of the time you'd actually prefer it wasn't discounted. All right, that's really scary. Sir, you're going to have to miss me with that shit. That's really scary. All right, I'm going to offer the trade. Let's see if he's that guy. Imagine he trades all 5 tokens. Or imagine I attack, he has the Rabbit AoE card, and somehow he just kills me next turn because that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 damage. With a flash creature here and a haste creature, could be game. Okay, no, he doesn't. He could just have the green-white Lord, too. I think that gives +1/+1. Ooh, Essence Channeler, that's actually really nice. So you can put a 1/1 on that. That's cool. I wish this card gave you 1/1s based on the amount of life you gain. It might be too pushed, but it would make it a better card for standard, in my opinion. It's crazy I've gotten away with only 3 land drops so far. Oh, well, now we have 4. That's pretty nice. I think it's fine here to just go Longstalk Brawl. Because it's going to bait out something, and at that point, I can then respond with a Polywallop if he does have something. And if he doesn't, I just go Tree Guard Duo, which is just huge because my guy has Trample. So even if he has something that untaps his guy like High Stride, I'm still just pressuring. Oh, sweet. He's not responding with a food. That's very interesting. I mean, I'm just going to do it. Not really sure what he could do here to stop this. I guess he can't do anything. Great. We're rolling, baby. See, I don't know why he didn't just respond with his food, because he would have then got a 1-1 counter, which he could have at least distributed to one of his 1-1s, right? Like, that just seems so much better. So if I don't block anything here and he has the rabbit AoE, it's actually just lethal. So I do indeed have to block something. I'm just going to assume this has 3 attack. So I'm going to block one of those. He does have that much mana, though. So this is 12 if he has the rabbit, and then he needs a +3/+3. So he does have the mana to potentially do that. You know what? I'm willing to get rid of one of these. Yeah, there's no possible way for him to lethal through this. Yeah, he did have it. Bro, I'm actually insane at this game. I'm literally insane. I literally called exactly what we had. And I actually just played perfectly into it. Okay. Sure. Well, that's actually really funny because this guy will reduce the cost of my Polywallop. I mean, he's not threatening lethal. I think he would need to top deck another rabbit response to be able to do that. And even with a buff, I could respond. Oh, that's disgusting. That's so disgusting. If he trades 5/1/1s, that'd be hilarious. Wow, okay. If he has another rabbit rescue, this guy's insane. Imagine he hit both off a scry. Oh, he has a provisioner, okay. He's not that guy. I'm that guy.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
I'm literally in my villain arc, boys. Wow, this is such a base play. Yes, sir, Ski Brother. Talk about it. Hell yeah, I had fun. Too easy, baby. The back-to-back 3-0 is on the way. Impending. Why is the first week of draft just so enjoyable? Well played by that guy. I've actually, like... I feel like the green-white rabbit deck is one of the top 3 archetypes that if you could choose to go into any space, I would choose the green-white deck out of any of them. Specifically because there are, like, the most cards in that archetype that bring up the ceiling of a lot of cards in the format that are just not usable in other decks. Because there's just, like, a whole classification of cards that are a good card if you control tokens, but if you don't, and you have no way of making tokens, you are by no means interested in them. And so that means you're going to end up with a lot of, like, premium cards if it works out. I just personally haven't started in a position where it was correct to do such a thing. So far, I've actually went, I think, green-red. I went green-black the most, then green-red. And we've went red-white 2 times. First time was terrible. Second time was fine. Red-white in this format is just so risky, though. All right, all green mana. I'm probably not a fan of this, and we are on the draw, which is better. Okay, this hand's not great either. I do have card selection via the Hidden Grotto, though. And he's keeping. I'm probably going to put back Polywallop, and just... This is just a slow hand, but I think it's fine. I'm going to take the risk, because if he's on aggro, I'm probably pretty happy with this. There's a lot of stability. I'm keeping Hugs. I'm greedy. I'm greedy, son!
I fucking knew it! Oh!
They asked me how greedy I am. I told them there are no bounds to my greed. I haven't seen this card all run. We have to keep it. This might be my downfall, but I gotta do it for the culture. For the content. There's a reason they call me the content king. Let's kill that one. It's untapped. I don't like that one. Okay. Well, that's one piece of the Hugs equation. Let's go that one again. I feel like I've seen this before. This is pretty funny. Well, I'd like to assume this guy's playing aggro, which is the best possible scenario for us. If we top deck a green mana here, we can actually Hugs for 1, which probably stalls the board enough. Or we could Hugs for 0, and we could Longstalk Brawl, killing his flyer. Root Weaver? Okay, that's actually fine. I'm gonna save the Brawl. I think there's something better I could interact with. It's kind of funny because he might overlook my potential to combat trick. If he Crumb and gets it to make it indestructible, I'd be so happy. Alright, I'm so happy. As long as he doesn't, like, kill my 3 tree, I'm goated. Yes, tap out. Good play, bro. I respect it. I respect you. Damn, a land here would be so hype. Hugs for 1. Well, at that point, I should just Hugs for 2, because I'm not going to be able to pay for this. There's also a slight chance I hit a green mana here. Oh, I'm so nice. I'm actually so nice right now. Hugs. Yes, sir, ski brother. Bro, why does Hugs not have an animation in this game? And next turn, he knows I have a boar. That's so toxic. Ooh, Star Charter. Good draw, bro. Good draw. That's actually insane. But you have to get 3, though. That doesn't count, yeah. Oh, I thought this had, you said you had to gain 3 or more, 3 or less. Oh, wait, he actually has that? That's hilarious. That's scary. Well, I gotta throw down my boar. Maybe I should have kept my boar up because it has reach. That was probably better. But I am putting in damage, which if he all swings, I could very easily, like, kill him. I'm just ecstatic I actually got to put my bomb on the field. Because we've just had so many drafts, so many videos done where we have a bomb and never see it. Okay. I mean, this is a lot of damage. Fuck it, I'm balls deep. I'm balls deep, baby. You have 0 mana. Stop acting like you can do something. My Quake Dust Boar has Vigilance because he beat that guy. Holy shit, I just put him at 1 so fast. That's so funny. Our opponent was literally almost at 30 life. Now they're at 1. Hugs is so broken. And I say that as he really didn't do that much other than create a 5/5 trample. But he got me to this card, which is a better card. It's kind of crazy because at face value, I think you could argue that Quake Dust Boar is actually more impactful more times than not than Hugs. Because like on turn 5, you get immediate impact. And why does this have reach? The fact that it has reach is stupid. If I had $1 for every card in this set that has unnecessary reach, I would never have to spend money on gems ever again. And we would just do free drafts forever. Alright, let me assume he has the rabbit card. If he has the rabbit card, I don't want to trade with that. He did have the rabbit card. Okay. Well played, sir. Well played. I'm literally flabbergasted by the amount of times we've seen someone. I literally called it out that they exactly had Rabbit Rescue, and then they just have it. Like, it's every time I'm like, okay, this guy has that one card that could potentially win him the game. I'm gonna block appropriately. That's some high elo shit. And it's crazy how this game started out. I kept such a sketchy hand, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Hugs for the content, and then he literally just rewarded me for the best clip of my life. Imagine you're just the other person and you go back and for some reason you're able to watch my video and you're like, damn, that guy kept such a sus hand and it actually just worked out. I'd probably be so tilted. All right, well, we have the Innkeeper's talent and Root Weaver. Well, this hand is way less sus than the last game, I'll tell you that. It feels like if our opponents don't immediately remove our 3 tree, we're just like running away. Oh, he's stuck on 2 lands. I'm so happy, bro. I can actually go level 2 immediately. That's so funny. Yes, sir. Ward skis. Outracing the life game player. You know how it be. And do an Essence Chandler. Okay. Nice, bud. Nice. I mean, I have 5 mana. I might as well just remove both game pieces, right? That was cool. Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, buddy. I'm doing this one for Hugs. This is for my homie Hugs, baby. Ward 1 for the boys, eh? Wow, that's actually so dirty. Innkeeper's talent is insane, boys. We have 6, we have 7 mana, so if we top deck specifically a 4-drop, I can actually expend 4. But regardless, I could just go level 4. Or level 3 for 4 mana. Wow. Yeah, this is such an insane position. Bro, stop hovering over my junk blade. Let's be real. You do not have the ability to pay the ward cost. You know, I'm sorry, man. Oh my gosh, this is so dirty. Well played, sir. No hugs needed, baby. Easy work. Easy money sniper, baby. Well done, sir. Well done. You did Hugs proud, brother. You did Hugs proud. And as well as the Innkeeper. Shout out all my Hearthstone boys. We did it again, baby. Let's go. The Innkeeper never lies. Welcome to the Hearth. Alright, well that run could have not... Alright, well that run could not have gone smoother, and that was an absolute awesome display of what red-green can do, and especially Hugs. I'm really glad that we actually got to put him on the battlefield during this run, because it just shows how much of a powerhouse this card is. And I know it looks like it's too situational for draft because maybe you won't always be able to pay for X. But I mean, even if you're paying 4 mana for a 5/5 trample with additional lands per turn, you're very, very happy for that. And I think most of the time, like if you're able to pay 1 or 2, the card can easily take over the game. And it gives you a better reason to want to take these mana dorks at a higher level of priority once you have him. And as well, some of the more rare mana dorks that you end up with. Once you have a couple of those, it really makes your top end get going. And I will say, this is really the best archetype to be playing these mana dorks. You can play, you know, some of them in green-black, like the squirrel one that searches squirrels is cool, but I think it's just way better in this shell. Quake to Spore never lets us down, as always. The fact this has Secret Reach is so disgusting, and in some ways is just better than Hugs, and Junkblade Bruiser could not be anything less than the truth, because, man, people do not respect this card. People don't take it early, but the thing about green and why the red-green deck comes together so well is that green just doesn't have to do work for its stats. This card is already sufficient at its stat line, and if you're consistently triggering it, it's even better. And Trample is just so impactful in the red-green beatdown deck. And as well, Tree Guard Duo actually becomes a lot better. I thought this card wasn't really that good in the red-green space originally, but I finally figured out why it is good and when it is good to play it. And it's when your finishers actually have trample, right? So all 3 of our finishers have trample, and that's very important to get like your actual bang for your buck out of this card, because in a format where there's so much token generation, if you only have 3 creatures on the field, which is very, very common in this deck, since you're trying to just ramp to a couple big guys, giving +3/+3 vigilance isn't that great. But when you're putting it on someone like Quake Tuskspore, and then you're still holding up a reach blocker during their turn, you know, it's just so much better. Roughshod Duo is actually one that I'm becoming more impressed with. And I think this is a card I actually really like in this deck. It's really unassuming, but it's the aspect of you can target anything, and he already has trample himself. So if you target something else, give that trample, and this also gets in for trample, that is great. And as well, Bark Knuckle Boxer. As a boxer myself, I have to pay tribute to the man, the myth, the legend, the Bark Knuckle Boy. This card is just amazing. This is probably the #1 highest priority 2-drop you're looking for, because really in this deck, although you are trying to ramp out to 4 and 5s, you want to be pressuring them as well, right? Because like you can get in some game states where some people can outvalue you easily, like in the green-white deck. If they get too many tokens and you didn't get your damage in, then you're not going to be winning that game, even if you have good late game potential. And that's also why I said trample is so important, because of the tokens. But also, I mean, even against the green-black deck, like, they make so much food. You need cards like this to be able to get into consistent damage. And having a 3/2 for 2 is way better in this format than it has been in other formats. Specifically because a lot of the archetypes, like Mice, for example, have to do work to make their stats and their power levels of their cards be on par with yours. Whereas cards like this, you just put it on the field and it's like, oh, it's 2 mana 3/2. Your guy is the 2 mana 2/1. Okay, I mean, I'm just already winning the race here. This is kind of unfair. Take Out the Trash is honestly a really strong card just in any deck. I don't even think you need to be in this archetype. And as well, you know, the Emperor Challenger, I can't restate this enough, that this just goes into pretty much every red deck. There's not one red deck in the game that I think you're unhappy about playing this in, playing this card in that deck. Especially because even if you're not a Valiant deck, combat tricks are just really good in this format in every deck. Outside of, like, the red-blue spells deck, which is arguably just the worst deck, and the deck you want to most likely avoid if you can, just because it requires so many moving pieces to make actually consistent. There's so many things that let you target this. Like, you got the fight spells and bite spells in green, and then you also have stuff like Overprotect, even the green 1 mana card. Where is that? I guess we don't have it. But there's the green 1 mana spell to give someone +1/+3 in reach. I mean, even that, like, it's very easy to just target this, and even if you can't target it, 2 mana 2/2 haste prowess is just so above rate in a format where everybody's deck is playing 15 to 17 creatures on average, maybe even more, especially in a deck like this where you're just trying to beat down. Cards like this are just absolutely amazing. And once again, you know, really impressed with Uncharted Haven. Been picking these more frequently. The fact these are going late, I think it's going to change very quickly going to week 2. I think you're going to see these being snatched up. Because if you have like a Hidden Grotto and Uncharted Haven or any combination of two, drastically changes your ability to splash a bomb from another color, and it just makes you less likely to brick, especially in best of 1. I'm playing these in the 2-color deck regardless, no matter what it is, just because the hand smoother does not really benefit you the most, especially if your name is Beats by Ash. But this was a great one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you so much for getting this far in the video, and you can look forward to more Bloomburrow drafts on the channel. So make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. And as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace. Alright, well that was a good run. 2 back-to-back 3-0s on the day, and we've just reached 40 play-in points, which is really just all I was after for this week, because we have the play-in qualifier coming up this Saturday. So I'm going to have 2 free entries, and that makes me more incentivized to 100% try to qualify, just because I have a lot of experience in what I think are the best archetypes. Haven't gotten to play some of the more niche ones, like Still have never been offered to play birds. Still have never been offered to play bats. Still have never been really offered to make like a full all-in green-white deck. I only played green-white one time, and it was because I was main white, and I started off mice, but I just didn't get enough of them, so I was forced to play some of the green-white dual cards, and I didn't really do it at the full potential. Also, I haven't been offered to do lizards. So I pretty much played most of the green archetypes and a lot of the red archetypes, or a lot of the black archetypes too. Yeah, I really haven't messed around that much. I did play one blue-red spells draft off stream, which actually blue-red spells is a pretty good deck, and I think that people are really underrating it. It's just you need to see the certain signals to like facilitate it. And I actually want to pull that up before I end the stream. Yeah, I actually want to showcase this this blue-red spells deck that I built the other day, and I actually went 2-1. It could have easily been a 3-0 deck, but I just got a little bit unlucky. And I kind of have the framework of what you're like looking for to be playing the blue-red spells deck. Okay, so I started off with a Drift Gloom Coyote. Honestly, there's not like really a lot going on in this pack. I think this is just such a versatile card. And a card I thought was good going into the format, but I do think that I undervalued the aspect of having a 4 toughness creature being so powerful in this format. And especially if you get the 1/1 counter, it's very unlikely that they're going to be getting their guy back, especially if they're not playing black. Like, and if they're getting their guy back, it's probably going to be when it's too late, because this card's just really hard to interact with, so I actually really like that pick here. Not a really lot of good cards in this pack. This card's honestly really mid. I would prefer not to... I don't think you ever pick this unless you are 100% in pack 2 already playing the Bats deck. Then it's, like, fine. But you need to have, like, 70% of your games the ability to consistently, like, trigger this, and if you don't, it's just a terrible card. So I think that's just a correct pick here. There is a mentor, which I'm kind of noting. I think you kind of be like taking notes of these because people say this card's ass. This card's so good in the deck. Pick 2, I see a Kitza Otterball Elite, which is one of the biggest reasons for you to move into the red-blue spells deck. Because, so the third ability says you can pay 2 and tap it to copy an instant or sorcery and choose new targets. But you have to have this at 3 or more power. So that means you have to play your second instant or sorcery in the turn, not your third, because your prowess will go on the stack in response to your second one. So your second spell you can copy, and especially like if you have a reducer on field, that's really, really good, and this card kind of carried the draft. So this is one of the things that might make me interested in playing Otters. Other than that, like, there's really not a lot going on in this pack. I think, honestly, if this wasn't in the pack, I might just take Polywallop or Longstock Brawl. I'm also really never taking this card unless I'm solidified, like, Mice. Because you need to have guaranteed ways to target this. This is like a good supporting card. Next up, we see another very medium pack. There's the Budget Zealous Conscripts, which is like fine, but I'm not really looking to prioritize that either. Really no good white cards in this pack. Brazen Collector is by far the best card in this pack, so I'm easily going to take this. This card's just good in every red deck. And then next up, we see another pack that's not very interesting as well. These are very low power level packs. So we see a Splash Lasher, which I do think is a very important card in this archetype because it slows your opponent down. And if they're playing like aggro or tokens, you actually get a blocker that has very sufficient toughness. So I'm actually looking to play this card in blue-red spells. I think it's honestly probably even better in that archetype than it is in Frogs. You can make the argument like you can just keep bouncing this, but like Frogs already have good toughness. So typically the blue-red deck is more like... The blue-red deck cares more about slowing the other person down because they have the highest costed cards on average in the format. Next up, we just see another one. Another very medium pack. There's a Corpse Berry, which is like kind of cool, but I'm not in a position to play that or that Crier. And then next up, we see an Agate Assault. I can already kind of tell him, like, okay, I want to be blue. I kind of want to be red. I kind of want to be white. But blue-white wants to be playing birds, which I have none of. And I don't really have synergies for what the birds try to do. So I take this removal spell. Actually, a card I think a lot of people underrate. Then we see a Conduct Electricity and a Playful Shove. I actually really like Playful Shove because it's an easy way to trigger your, like, Spells Matter stuff like Kitsa for 2 mana. And it kills, like, all Offspring tokens. And I think this card's, like, honestly on the same level as what Flick a Coin was in Eldraine, which actually turned out to be one of the best cards. And it's actually used into Commander today. So you know that this is probably, like, pretty decent. And then next up, I see a Long River Lurker. Not the best card in the blue-red spells deck, but it is a premium card that, like, I already have 2 frogs. If I see a bunch of other frogs, I'll play this in the blue-red Otters deck. And there's also a Pearl of Wisdom, which I actually do think this card is better in the deck than this. But these just come so late because no one's interested in them. You can probably get another one of these where the fact this is going so late is insane. All right, then we finally wheel the Stormcatch Mentor, which pretty much solidifies that this is what I'm trying to do. Because I already have a couple strong spells, and I have a Kitsa, so that's just, like, great. I already know I'm trying to do this thing. Take a Runaway Together. I actually think you don't really want to play this card in any deck. It's a pretty medium card. But I also think that Lilypad Village is a card you don't care about in red-blue spells. Like, there is recursion, but you don't care about recurring it this way. You don't want to spend your mana like that. All right, next up, we see a Conduct Electricity and a Tempest Angler. In hindsight, I probably should have taken this card. This card's actually really bad. It's like, okay. Like, it is an Otter, so if you care about Otters, you probably never cut it. But at the same time, this card's, like, way more underrated. Because there's, like, especially when you have Reducers, if you can pay 4 mana for this, it's, like, really good at slowing down the game. All right, next up, we get this guy, which I just also don't recommend in the deck, but it's a blue card. Blue card. Moving on, we see an Artist Talent. Overall, very weak pack. Honestly, if I went back, I probably would have taken this into the Flood Maw. I just wanted to try this card out, and after trying it out, I think it's actually okay. But you need to see it early. The play window for this is very small, because if you don't play this on 2, which, like, there's not a lot of 2-drops in the deck, so it's actually, like, pretty good for that reason. But you have to have, like, a lot of spells to make this good, and a lot of, like, damage-dealing spells, which I just don't think, like, I was almost there. So I ended up playing it and then taking it out after the first match. Next up, we see a Playful Shove and a Quick Dust Boar. I just have a fetish for this card. Probably, like, shouldn't have taken it, but I think the card's just good in every deck. I could have taken this Playful Shove, but these tend to go pretty late, and this isn't, like, the main spell I'm looking for. So I take the Quick Dust Boar. You're probably never cutting this from any red deck, so I don't think it's, like, necessarily wrong. And then we see a pack that has Coruscation Mage, as well as an Agate Assault. I do think this card's pretty good in the deck, but you kind of need to be, like, really set up for it. There's also a Mentor, which we probably would wheel on average, because, like, no one wants this, and there's really, like, every card in this pack is, like, playable. They've done a really good job about making there, like, no duds in this format, but I think that's partially due to the fact that the format's low power level relatively overall, because, like, unless you're in the one specific deck for each card, 9 out of 10 cards in the format just have, like, a relatively, like, medium power level across all decks outside of the one they're intended for. So I take this guy, which, like, honestly, if I was prioritizing, like, managing the amount of spells that I'm trying to end up with efficiently, I should have taken this card. Because this is actually one of the best homes for this card, especially when you reduce it to 2. It just slows down the game, and it pretty much answers most creatures in the format outside of, like, the red-green decks. And I think people will kind of just let this card go too late. And I think in a week, you're not going to see these, like, going very late. Next up, we do get an Agate Assault, which is great. Now, there is a Harnesser of Storms, which I think actually is one of the cards that you are looking to play in this deck. This card's very underrated. I honestly thought this was ass at first because it costs 3. But, like, with the 4 toughness, going back to why the Coyote is good, it's very unlikely that your opponent is going to be able to remove this the turn it's played. Especially because it has, like, bad attack. A lot of times they're going to be like, okay, I want to prioritize developing on my own board instead of removing this. Because there's no way they're going to, like, actually do something with it. And you start doing things with it and, like, the card advantage adds up quick. But I already have a lot of creatures, so I take this Agate Assault. If I would have managed my spell count better, I should have taken this card because I would have 2 Agate Assault at this point. All right, and then I end up seeing a Thundertrap Trainer, which is actually a really strong card, and it would have actually even been even better if I would have managed my draft appropriately. But this is another reason I think you can convince me to be in this deck. It's not like a card I want to pick 1, but if I already start off with like a strong card, pick 2, and it's a low pack, or just a low power level pack, I'm going to start with it. Because the potential upside on this card is so high. It's insane in a simplified game state and fine on turn 2. Especially when you have really good spells. Take Out the Trash is actually a really good card in this deck too, just because at 2 mana, it just answers most threats. So if this wasn't in the pack, I would take this. You probably want to aim to have 8 or 9 creatures in this deck. And with most of your creatures being like this guy, which is just a good finisher, or like Coruscation Mage. Where is he? Yeah, this guy, like if most of your creatures contribute to a win con, then you can get away with having less, even in a really creature dense format. I ended up taking this Mind Spiral here, which I do think is a card you probably want one of in this deck. And then I take this Raccoon Rallier, which is a card that's okay, but I think you don't really want it because it's like better in creature decks. And we end up getting a pick 8 Stormcatch Mentor, which is great. It makes any Pearl of Wisdoms that we see later on like way better. And then we end up getting back the Into the Flood Maw, which is great because then it made my first pick not just a waste. Card that you definitely want to be playing. End up taking the Seed Paul Squire, which I think is fine. But you really, it's just an additional creature that if your deck is optimized, you really just would not like to have that in your deck. Get another one for free. We finally get our first Pearl of Wisdom, which is nice. I think if you have like 10 plus otters, 2 of these is the correct amount. If you're paying 2 for this consistently, it's absurd. Because it just gets you to more removal, and if you're managing your spells correctly, it's insane. Especially if you have like multiple mentors like this draft, and you're paying 1 for this while only controlling 1 creature, you're probably winning. Parting Gust, unusable card. And then, pick pack 3. I know this is really crazy. I just keep seeing more rares for this archetype in every pack. Yeah, this one is actually good. This is a reason that you should be playing blue-red spells, because it's absurd. And this card is also good in the blue-black deck as well. It fits into both of those decks, but definitely way better in the red-blue deck. It's good in the blue-black deck because you can put things in the graveyard without actually casting them, then buy them back for 4. And then level 3 is just kind of like bonus. There's also a Take Out the Trash, which I could get back here, which is nice. All right, this pack, honestly, just a really bad pack for us. Once again, I already have 1 Runaway. I don't really want to play this card. It's pretty bad. Kingfisher is also another card that, like, I don't think you really want to play it. But I do have a couple of birds, and, like, there's just nothing in this pack I even relatively would want to put into the deck. And then we find a Playful Shub number 2, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think 2 of these is pretty good. Like, you probably want as many of these as you can in a deck that cares about just casting spells in general. Especially if you're paying 1 mana for it, it's awesome. And in this pack, we get a Valley Rally, which I think is really good. It's a good finisher. Honestly, like, gifting your opponent a food is very low cost, since you're already, like, kind of like a late game oriented deck. If you're using this, it's in the late game anyway, and it can end a game. So I do actually like this card, because, like, you are pretty good at making tokens. Like, you have Storm Chaser's Talent. This guy's, like, almost a token because he's so small. And you could end up with, like, the Otter Ball card. We end up finding a second Pearl of Wisdom. This is actually a card that I think is underrated, but you have to be so deep blue that you need to almost be mono blue. And if you are mono blue, the card's absurd. But we are not mono blue. End up seeing a Blooming Blast, which is a card that I think... This is probably the second best home for the card, or maybe the third. Card is absurdly busted in red, white, and red, black. Card's also really good here, because dealing 3 damage is so good in this deck, since you're like... You already have people who have haste and prowess, and then you also have people like Coruscation Mage, which is dealing potentially 2 damage per spell you play. That increases it to 5. And this is a card where if you have multiple of these, like 3 or 4, that makes me actually want to play this Artist Talent, because that just drastically increases the damage output. We didn't end up with enough of those, though. All right, second Artist Talent. You're never playing 2 of this. Like, 1 is already sus. Conducted Electricity is actually a really good card in this deck. It's actually the best home to play Conduct Electricity. Number 1, because it has a picture of an otter, so like means it goes in the otter deck. Number 2, because you can make this 4 mana very easily, which makes this card really good. And then we end up getting another Blooming Blast, which is great. Take out the trash for another Blooming Blast. I mean, this is just guaranteed 3. Honestly, I might have went back and taken this just the way the draft turned out, but that was hindsight. And then we see another runaway that I'm just forced to take. Not playing that. Not important, not important. And that's the draft. And then this is what the deck ended up looking like. So I had like 10 creatures or like 12, and I had about even amount of creatures as I did spells. This Kitza really like just carried. The card was absurd. And the Splash Slashers. Splash Slasher, like I played it on 4 quite consistently, and it let me slow my opponent down enough to where when I got to 5 or 6 mana, I just stole the game. And having the 3 draw spells was just so nice. I was able to cycle so much in Storm Chaser's talent. So I definitely think there's a reason for you to be going into this archetype. But you need to start off with rares. If you're not starting off with rares, the only reason you would get into this is because you started off red and you just saw like mostly removal and no creatures in pack 1. And then you're like, even then you still probably just would want to have a rare to make you go into this. But I guess if you just like are the only good cards you're seeing in red are just removal, then I guess you could start picking up like good orders. But it just seems like the good orders are the cards that are premium rarities. Like this guy is a card you don't really want to play. Paying 3 mana for this, it just dies to pretty much every removal in the format. And then you just don't get to use the ability. So it's like really not that good when there are other things like the 1 mana 1/1 mice that just grows. So it has the same effect as this, but it's 1 mana. Which is like, this should have been a 2 mana 2/2 actually. Because it, like paying 3 mana is so bad. Like you want to be using a removal spell on 3 in this deck. So honestly, I think they could have either made this 2 mana or they could have just made it 2 mana 1/1. 2 mana 1/1 or just 2 mana 2/2. And I think the card would have been fine. It probably would have made this deck quite a bit better. Because like you have to get these premium cards before you actually start wanting to go into this deck, and that's what's bad about it. But this is definitely a deck I'm looking out for, and it's definitely one I could play in the weekend if it is given to me. So I just wanted to shout that out for anyone who really hasn't like played the deck yet, because I think a lot of people are just avoiding it because it is pretty difficult to make. I think it's probably the second most. I think it's probably the most difficult deck to construct in the format, just because you need so many moving pieces. And then secondly, the red-white Boros deck, because it's so weird. Like you start off with good Valiant cards that are rares, and then you end up being like, well, damn, all of the Valiant cards disappeared, and I have these rares that are dependent on me doing Valiant things or me doing mice things, like Manifold Mouse, which gives double strike and trample, which we used earlier today. It's like only good if you have like hopefully 10 mice. We didn't even have 10 mice, and it was like still borderline. It was really sus because if we didn't access those, we just lost. But like you can just have drafts like that where you start with really premium cards, stop seeing them because there aren't that many cards that have Valiant, and a lot of the good mice just overlap into aggro decks in general, so people just take them. And then you're like, damn, well, I kind of have like a medium-ass red-white deck which has bad stats, and I need to have complete synergy to make the deck reach its full ceiling, when this guy over here just has like a beater green deck that like really isn't the greatest, but his stats are just way better than mine, so he's gonna beat me like 8 out of 10 times. You have to have like a very aggressive curve to win, especially since removal is just so efficient against the red-white deck. A lot of your cards have bad toughness and then just bad stats in general, and the way they become good is you doing stuff during your turn to buff them. But when you play your cards and your opponent just like, their removal just trades so efficiently with them, you never get to see your turn and buff them a lot of the time, which really like brings down the deck. And I thought it was going to be the best deck in the format, but that's actually not true. But I gotta go prepare for my job, so we're gonna end the stream here. So thank you so much for everybody who stopped by. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go.